Hello, and welcome to your new summer job. Welcome. Let's take this up from the top. It seems like I don't know, but the operating system or the whatever you know how Fazbear is. Here at Fazbear's we don't have the best quality, and I don't know. Not really sure what to say to you, but yeah, honestly, we don't have the best quality here at Fazbear's. And hell, I mean, I tried to call you earlier. It seemed like you weren't picking up, but hey, it's nice that you're getting these voice memos, I guess I can call them. And since this is my last shift, I'm here to talk to you and keep you up on what the job is. So, just you're just a security guard, so keep up on those cams. I don't know. Don't die. I mean, keep up on those cams. Just, do your job. Get paid. Just a little bit to get off your feet. Just for the week. You get your paycheck after like what 5 nights or something, maybe like 6 or 7 if you want to do bonus. I do have to say something though. The animatronics, they get a little quirky at night. I'm not really sure what to say. It is what 11 something, almost midnight for me, and you do usually start at midnight and end at 6, I think. So, But hey, besides the technical difficulties, it seems like everything's going well. So, how about I introduce you to the cast. Though before that, I will say there is one thing that you could do for me that would be great. See, there is this secret operation. We need a team to go down to this bunker. This Edwin guy from years ago, and he made some stuff for us. Gotta go down there and go get that shit. Sorry for my language. Yeah, maybe we don't know what the secret to this mimic guy is, but sure hope you can find it. Hidden secret of the mimic. Unpause the game. Unpause the game. But fucking pause the game. Pause the goddamn game. Holy shit. Oh my god. The secret of the mimic. Secret of the mimic. Hey guys. The secret of the mimic. Dude, I don't think Loco's showing up. That's really sad. Loco was here earlier. If it has been, though I will say, I'm sorry to Loco. We'll keep Local up here, and we'll keep Rox up here, because Rox did have to leave. If you saw the previous stream, we were trying to get things working. I deleted other streams, but like 3 other streams happened where I was trying to fix up my computer and it was not working and it was being very mean. And I think it was because I had to update my computer and something with my router, but it seems like it's fixed. Hopefully. I mean, Secret of the Mimic is open at the moment and I'm streaming and I'm in call and everything, and it seems like we're good. Okay, well, I'm also looking at my OBS, and it seems like things are going fine. It seems like we're at a kind of steady pace. Can I breathe again? Can I breathe again? You guys don't know how many phone calls I had to do, how many openings I had to do. I fucked up a couple of them. It's really sad that we lost 2 troopers in the war here, sadly. Both Local and Rox are both gone. They were valiant members of our community, and they're, it's sad. It's sad, man. They got taken out back. So yeah. So I will be here. Wait, let me quickly as a show, they are gone. I'll take away their hats. There you go. They're off the job. Let's say that. It's like what is it? It's like how in the military, instead of saying that someone is dead, they say that like they're still on the battlefield. I know that probably has no correlation, but these guys are still in the pizzeria. They're still. Me neither. I think I heard it one time. I'm sorry to anybody I offended with that. But you know, anyway, they're still in that pizzeria. They're still on that grind. They're still playing their FNAF free roam. Anyway, now that I'm done with these phone calls, remove that goddamn phone from my hand. I don't want to touch it anymore. I'm so fucking tired, Finn. I'm so tired. Okay. I'm so tired, Finn. Anyway, it seems like, considering the late night that it is, I don't know if anybody will show up again, which is a little sad, but hey, you know, it's better than nothing. And of course, I don't think I'm beating it tonight, so I will definitely be playing tomorrow, and I'm sure either people will be free, I'm sure local will show up, but honestly, I've literally been waiting and prepping, as you can see around me, with everything that I've done, and bits and stuff like that. I think I'll save those for tomorrow, by the way, which is sad. I did work on this, but hey, it's whatever, you know. Anyway, we can save those for tomorrow. Tomorrow will probably be a bigger stream, considering what happened, sadly. But hey, it seems like everything is going good. Seems like everything is fine. Honestly, I will say, and I'm not afraid to admit that I'm wrong. I was wrong to just delete stuff and then restart stream and not restart my computer and restart my router like Gypsy was saying, you know. So, but hey, that's just a theory. Yeah, I guess so. It's still there. It was only a couple minutes, but it's still there. I made it. Okay, well, what I'm saying is this usually doesn't happen. So, anyway. Everything. No, I literally did. I deleted Sonic Mania. I deleted Celeste. Those are one of my two favorite games. I did that for this fucking game. Yes. Yep. I want to play this fucking game. I want to play this fucking game. I'm tired, Finn. Y'all don't know. Okay, wait. We've got one more person who joined. I'm hoping, praying it's local. It's not probably local, but anyway. Unused employee ID. Yeah, I wish I could. I sadly can't, which is a little weird. I don't know the person who paper. Why can't I hear the other guys? Wait, what? You can't? Wait, you can't be heard? Have I been talking to myself this whole time? Oh, you know, that's a good thing. That's a good thing that was mentioned. Okay, talk.
Blah blah blah.
Okay, I guess
blah blah blah.
Okay, anyway, hi paper.
Is it picking up now?
Talk.
Bah.
Okay, let me check stream.
I know it is. It is 100%. It is.
Okay, you're slightly loud. I'll lower you a little. Okay, talk now.
Hello.
I know it is. It is 100%. It is.
Or I'm just slightly low. Holy shit.
Hello?
Yeah, I feel like that's a common thing on most of your streams. You just kind of have a lower voice, and it's like,
No,
oh no, I have to turn up my volume.
It's not only that. It's that my mic does that. I don't like it, but whatever. Anyway, gamers, I'm tired of the technical difficulties. I want to get my shift on. I want to get employment. I'm trying to.
Employment.
You know what? I'll even stream
I gotta
to
lower
you.
the stream for myself though, because it's like I'm getting mixed up between what's
No, it's
being
good.
heard and not. It's like
I'll stream
I haven't
to you
muted
guys. I'll stream to you guys. I think it'll work. Anyway,
hopefully.
thank you, Paper, for at least being here. Hopefully you can show up tomorrow. It's sad that local is fucking dead. Does that mean I add bro to the stream? I gotta add Paper to stream. Wait,
How do you get the little icons out specifically?
what do you mean?
You just yoink their icons.
Oh, it's because I did it earlier with Deltarune.
Oh.
Yeah. Also, because it's pretty easy, you just take a picture on YouTube and then you crop it out through Krita and then you put it in your files and then put it through OBS, which seems like a lot and it kind of is, but if you're fast about it, it's fine. Anyway,
Yeah, I mean, you have practice with it, so.
yeah, I've been streaming for 6 months. That's half a year. Anyway, I feel like this is more quality than my old ones, you know. Anyway, which by the way, I haven't changed any of my like PNG tubers or anything. That's why, and why I've been going so crazy on this stream, and why everything's been delayed. If anyone wants to know, I know it's literally the people that already know because they're in my friend group. But if you don't know why everything was getting delayed and everything like that, it's because I was working on this. I was trying really hard to make it good. Because this is probably the last stream for this channel. Not the last stream, but like the last full game I'm gonna play besides off, and finishing up Deltarune, before I move. So yeah,
New channel,
which is gonna be the same shit, just better, and a little more other things. You know what I mean? But you know, yeah. It's basically gonna be the same stuff with some wacky antics. It's literally just gonna be more of what you wanted, but better. This is all this was obviously a test channel, so. But anyway, I'm tired of waiting. Mimic, I'm tired of you've been sitting here trying to get me away from your secret for a long time, and I'm tired. Let's do this.
I'm tired, Grandpa, in a minute.
Too damn bad. Holy shit! I'm actually playing a new FNAF game. Can I? I'm allowed. I'm allowed. Wait. Let me open options. Is it not gonna crash? I really do think it. Dude, I actually think it was just that update. Hopefully.
It could have been. Everything seems to be running so smooth now.
That's what I'm saying. It's upsetting because, you know.
That's what I'm saying.
Besides, I guess Laz. He's like the only one who would have known that streams work fine. Because streams don't usually do this. The only time I had other problems with streams was like when I was first starting up the Minecraft series, because that was the first time I played. I used used OBS.
Dude, I have no idea actually how to use OBS for a lot of things.
I could try to help you. I'm also not good. I literally have just been learning by just doing it. So.
The only thing I know how to do in OBS is how to make the virtual camera.
It's also really, really annoying, because honestly, a lot of, and when I mean a lot, I mean all of them, all of the, excuse my swearing, fuck ass, all of the OBS, everything. All the computer manuals, all the tutorials, they all have those shitty thumbnails and those clickbaity thumbnails, and I feel like I'm watching brain rot when I'm supposed to be watching a goddamn tutorial, and I'm supposed to be watching what is the video form of a manual when I'm in the middle of watching the Subway Surfers and the guy's smiling at me with the shiny teeth and going like, do you want to go through OBS and the best way to get the best clicks? No! I'm here to make art. I'm not here to make money. I'm here to play Secret of the Mimic. I'm not here to get as many views as I possibly can. I just want to have a community and talk to people and have fun. I don't want to grow my channel as much as I possibly can so that I can feel something. Holy shit. Let me play on goddamn games. It was so hard to get into OBS simply because people were so tiring. Here's the best way to customize your channel layout so that you can get the best, so you can get the most subscribers ever. I don't care.
Do you want subscribers?
Don't
not
you
really.
want
Well,
the
here's how you do it.
subscribers? Oh, that profiles is just save file. I thought it was gonna let me like send in a picture in, which would have been really funny. I would have drawn a little picture of myself. That would have been cool. Why can't more games let me do that? Also,
What games have you put that even let you do that?
none. That's my problem. Maybe like Jackbox?
Jackbox don't count though. Come on.
Okay.
I mean, does it though?
I mean, it's a game, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, I wish more things did that. Anyway, so Secret of the Mimic, when it fades in, I have noticed that when it fades in, it fades in like a light, like the light back there, like the orange. And I have my orange light there. Also, the manor up there, that might be Murray's costume manor, as we know of, but it really does remind me of the of FNAF 4's Afton House. By the way, I don't know how much Michael knows and how much you know, Tristan, about FNAF and about this specifically?
No.
I can say about the lore, I have seen like maybe a Matt Pat video on the
God
like
damn it.
FNAF 1.
God damn it,
Yeah,
guys.
that's
He
all.
doesn't know
That's-
shit. Okay.
That's about it.
Okay, well here's
I'm here-
here's
I'm
a
here
here's a good thing
experience.
for you. Here's a good thing for you. Is that not only are FNAF games usually hard to comprehend, the story is in the code and shit and blah blah blah, but apparently, according to Local before they left and died in the war, this is a very coherent, good FNAF game that shows you a story, you know, blah blah blah. It's actually really good. It well developed. This looks like a really good game. I'm really excited to play.
Wow, Steelwool getting their shit together.
Steelwool got their shit together, and so did Scott. Dude, clap and a half for these guys.
No, I don't doubt Sky. Steelwool fucks everything up.
No, here's the thing. I feel like a lot of people immediately run to Steelwool and say everything they did was ass. Especially after
It's
security
your
breach.
fault.
It's all your fault. When we also can't say that Scott is perfect. When Scott actively admitted that, you know, and I don't know if it was there because we had to close and open stream a lot, but I did mention the whole like oh guys, it's fine, just like, oh no, that was before stream. But when I was talking about bits and stuff, I was like, guys, it's fine. What, we're not allowed to know about the bits, just like how, like when you're gonna do them. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. It's like when Scott was just like, put Vanny in the game and we'll not tell it. Okay, but what's her like lore significance? Only I get to know that.
Well, wouldn't you like to know?
When do you like
Yeah.
to know, Weather Boy?
Boy.
But yeah, so which I get it, Scott. I get it. He obviously like this is like it was like his first time letting anybody else touch his games or anything like that, and his lore is a very sacred thing, and so anybody else knowing is a sacred thing. But also they're literally working with you, so that you should probably tell them at least what's going on in the game. Anyway, so yeah, it seems like they like all of them have really like gotten better. Help wanted to everything. Like this is the game that we've been waiting for. This is basically the reason I'm saying don't worry too much, Tristan, is because this game takes place at the very start of the timeline. So it will be showing us stuff that will then happen later on in the timeline. So this is like probably the best one for you if they were all story-wise. I mean, the other ones barely have a story if you don't actually like, you know, check into the code, right? But as a story one,
Deep dive into it.
yeah, as a story one, this is literally the first one in the timeline, so I think you'll be fine. And even so, I can give you a rundown. If you don't know anything about FNAF, basically the whole story is of William Afton specifically. It's cut into two parts: the Mimic era and the Afton era. But that's mostly like, you know, the fandom does that because they're like, I wish the story ended at FNAF 6 and it can't continue after that or something like that. And I feel like I used to be that way, but looking back, Steelwool games and everything like that, which again a lot of people blame, aren't that bad. I feel like it literally was just security breach that beat everybody up and then like it made everyone lose faith. But this looks really good, and I feel like this will completely like get everyone back on board with FNAF and stuff. And I've seen small clips of a chase scene, and it scared the shit out of me, and I wasn't playing. So I'm scared.
I love when whenever I see a game and it actually scares me, just watching it rather than playing it, that's the best.
Dude,
But then again, also 𝒸𝒸 does that for me because I don't like the ocean.
I've seen stuff for 𝒸𝒸, and it scares me too. Also, we have 5 concurrent people here. Local's not here, but 5 concurrent
I
people.
scrolled up a little.
Anyway,
No logo.
poor Local. One day, I know you'll be here
Poor
tomorrow or whatever. Shout out to
Local
Local.
went to
Local,
bed.
if you're listening to this, we're sorry. I'm sorry, Local.
If you're listening later in the morning.
Local. Anyway,
Loco.
Local has truly become part of the group.
Arnold. Hey, buddy. This is Dispatch with
Look at
Hazard.
me sitting right there.
How are you feeling?
I'm Arnold.
Since you asked, I just finished a 36-hour shift.
Terminator?
I'm struggling to stay awake. Frankly, I tried to tell my manager that I can't work like this anymore.
Awesome to hear. Well, listen, we need you to take one more shift.
I love the little
Since you're
bobblehead,
our
it's so
closest
funny.
technician in the area.
Wait, what? I can barely keep my
Take
eyes
another shift. I can barely open my eyes.
The grind is exhilarating, isn't it? We're so happy to have you on the Fazbear team.
He sounds like an AI. The phone guy sounds like an AI.
You're just trying to snag one of those $25 gift certificates at the end of the year.
Gotta
for
raise
outsticking
your
your
stream
performance.
volume here.
What? No, I'm
A
doing
fungi
it
AI
because you guys
generated.
keep threatening to dock my pay and repo my truck.
Dude, I hate Fazbear
I love
Entertainment.
that enthusiasm. So anyway, this will be a piece of cake. We had this contractor named Edwin Murray. He was developing some tech for us, but he's gone quiet. As per his contract, everything he's been working on
Oh, what's
is
that?
now legally ours. So we're sending you in to get it.
What's that one VR game that had you like doing all the jobs as a little robot?
Yeah.
Although the signal's a bit erratic.
I feel like it was like one of the games that was really popular.
We'll follow
When,
up
like,
with
VR
more
first came out.
soon. For now, just follow these
That's
directions
what the phone
and
guy
find
kinda
your
sounds
way
like.
to that building.
I hate you.
Dude, I hate him too.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Part of the Fazbear team. Dispatch out.
Amazing.
I think he is an AI because he was like, I hate you. Okay, dispatch out.
Yeah, it might be like
Secret of the Mimic. We're getting that
Thanks,
motherfucker. We're taking his goddamn guts out. Spread him across the. Okay. It's time for employment sim. Dude, no one mentioned anything about that.
Hold up.
Good job.
Don't.
Doesn't look like anyone's here.
What do you fear? You fear a job application.
Okay. How am I supposed to get in?
To access the building, you've been provided with a data diver tool.
Oh shit. Okay, to access the building data.
Kind of looks like a walkie-talkie with two prongs sticking out of the top.
Wait, what have I been
Should be
drinking?
in the van. Richie slipped it in your toolbox.
Drinking
during
energy
last
drinks
job,
over here.
just in case.
Monster.
Thank you, Richie. Roxy's Rootin' Tootin' root beer. Tonic.
Dude, Rox would love that.
Not a promising start.
Not a promising start. Can you shut up? Let me fucking cook. Dude, what? Wait, what are these? No, I can't look. I can't look. Those are what I think they are. Please. Please. I don't wanna. Please. I barely know how to drive. I'm surprised I got here. Lancer. The other guys. No.
Lancer?
God damn it. No, I can't look.
Lancer.
I can't look. I can't look.
Not a promising
Rules
start.
card.
He just keeps calling me a
Rules
promising
card.
card. A promising card. A promising star. Okay, look. It's okay. Wait, I want to look around. Dude, I want to just run around here. This looks so fun. I'm so excited. You know what? Fuck sleep. I'm doing this shit all day.
Yeah.
Data
You should get a
diver.
little bit of sleep. Come on,
Okay,
dude.
okay. Shush, dispatch. Okay, we're not gonna talk about those. This is definitely not gonna continue as a running gag or something like that. Let me get the data tab. Dude, the animations.
Good job. Well done.
Oh, this actually looks really nice.
That data diver is your master key to the MCM facility. Do not lose it.
Why is he so
Now
quiet?
get in there and retrieve our property. Over and out.
Okay, I was just checking stream audio. Okay. Why do I? You see that, right? Why do I? Why do I? You see that?
Why your arm makes sound like that?
Dude, am I am I the hugger wugger? Am I ugly wuggly? What the fuck is wrong with me?
Your arm extend a little funny. I don't know what to tell you.
Wait, how do I? Okay. Oh, I have to hold down. Murray's costume.
Is it like a hold and pull
manner.
thing, or is it just a hold?
It's a hold and pull down. Also, I'm way taller than I thought I
Oh.
was. I'm way taller than I. Damn, they got me in a cramped ass bus.
Damn.
Damn. Oh, and I can run. Oh, it's a forever run button.
Oh,
Ooh, I don't have to hold it.
oh, it's a hold? It's not a hold, it's a press?
It's a press. Pardon our mess.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm already loving this game so much. But this was like, okay, so there was a lot of like circusy themes and stuff, and like, you know, the clown and stuff in FNAF 1 and everything, and they're trying to flesh out the start of the franchise, and like it being like a circus and Fall Fest and blah blah blah. So basically this is gonna like be clown shit. This is gonna be like you know, this is gonna be what that was. Also, dude, this is like our first time in any FNAF game being outside.
So this is what grass
Dude.
looks like? Oh my god.
Dude, wait, does that mean I have to? No, they already got me outside. They already got me outside. Soon they're gonna make me. No, 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 no,
grass.
no, no, no. Don't say that. Don't fucking say that. Don't
It
fucking
reminds me of
talk
this
to
one,
me like that.
This one image of a guy at like Comic-Con who had just a touch grass, who was literally just walking around with a sign
Yeah,
to
yeah,
touch
with
grass.
the touch
like a
grass,
box
and
of
then
grass.
it's like, is it real? You would know if you touched
Is it-
if
no,
you touched actual grass.
Yeah.
So if you touched it.
Dude, I know this is like, I know it's a little time stally, but I need to walk around. This is the first time we've ever got to see the outside. Besides, I guess, I was gonna say DBZ. Dragon Ball. No.
Michael.
Michael Afton. I was gonna say was Dead by Daylight was like the only time we got to see the outside of a pizzeria, and that wasn't canon. Kind of, not really. Okay, let's stop stalling. Let's get in there. Murray's Costume Manor. We keep hearing so much about it. It doesn't look the same as it did in the at the end of Help Wanted 2's DLC. But also, this is the start. This is literally the start of. This is the start of the whole thing. So.
I feel like I should go back and actually watch Help Wanted. I think I watched like a single video on it, and I was like, okay, this is kind of entertaining.
Do you want the rundown?
Then I
on
had to
Help
go.
Wanted? I like its lore. Because
I
you won't really get its lore if you like you kind of won't get its lore if you play it, because it's a FNAF game.
I mean, I play.
Well, I wouldn't play it. I'd watch it. I know it's a FNAF game, but I have to like find a video essay or something.
I can kind of explain quickly the FNAF lore to explain what Help Wanted was. To my best of my ability, in a very quick summary, FNAF is about the Aftons, William Afton specifically, and basically we don't know why or how. This might explain, but Henry Emily and William Afton, two men straight out of like college or something, are in Hurricane, Utah. William's British and all that shit, and that is a very important part of and
Hurricane, Utah.
Yeah, and they make robotics. They're really good at robotics, especially for the time period, and especially Henry. Henry was so good. Now we don't know if they met then. If MatPat theorized that they met because Henry bought out Freddy's through a rival company of Chica's, and Chica was originally in the 𝕁𝕆𝕆𝕆𝕆𝕆𝕆, which is a whole thing. But all you gotta know is that they're friends or whatever. They start up a pizzeria, blah blah blah. William is super jelly of Henry, because Henry is so much better than he is at robotics and all that shit. And for some reason, we don't know yet. We don't like it's the thing is, when I say we don't know yet, I mean it's like debated. We don't know exactly the time placements and all that, but basically Afton gets well, you know, there was a family diner that they had, a Fredbear's Family Diner, and they used to have mascot suits, and then like really rudimentary animatronics, right? So basically Afton was a fucking furry, and 𝓿𝒺 and shit was like his
OG
persona. He was the OG British Utah furry. Yes. And we might have seen that Fredbear was originally a brown bear, a real brown bear for singing shows, and they changed him to a golden bear with either purple or black bow tie and hat and everything. And that was Fredbear's Family Diner. And eventually, with the 𝕁𝕆𝕆𝕆𝕆𝕆𝕆 and blah blah blah, they started switching to robotic suits. So they had Henry and William both put together the fursuits and the robotics, and they created the Springlock animatronics, which were literally. Do you know what a Springlock animatronic is?
It's like, I'd assume it's like what like the OG Freddy is. They kind of just have their actual like locking mechanisms.
Okay, it's not the OG Freddy. Spring locking?
Is it not?
No.
Or not the OG, but the one in FNAF 1.
No.
No?
That's not the OG. Very confusing, I know.
Well, I know that's not the OG. But
you
know what I mean. You know.
But if you're assuming like Fredbear's Golden Freddy, yes. And Spring Bonnie, aka William stuff. Basically, a spring lock suit is a outer suit casing. Basically, they had the problem of they like to save costs because, as you heard, Fazbear isn't the best company. They aren't a good company at all, and they're a really shit company, and they're trying to save a buck. So basically, to not have
a single dollar.
a singular dollar, to not have to make a mascot suits that look like the robots and the robots. And so you know what they did? They said, okay, how about we have a robot where there are clamps inside, like you take off the if you take off the outer shell, there are clamps inside, and the clamps move away the machinery and the spring locks, and it is enough room to fit a person inside, so that they can also it doubles as a suit and a robot, right? So that sounds really genius, until you find out that spring locks dislodge due to moisture, right? And due to like erratic movement. So if you move too much in a spring lock suit, then the machinery that was being pushed away immediately springs out and stabs you in every direction. Those spring locks stab into you like hot skewers of metal.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think Springtrap is? Springtrap is William Afton, who got spring locked. So there's a
Well, I
body
knew
in
that
there.
bit.
Yeah, there's a body in there.
I mean,
he got spring locked.
yeah, isn't it like when he opens his mouth, you can see
Yeah,
the
you can
the
still see the
corpse
corpse in
inside.
there. Yeah. So basically, that's what spring locking is. That's what spring lock suits are. Blah blah blah. Stuff happens. Afton has 3 kids. He might have a wife. We don't know what happened to her. 3 kids. Michael Afton, crying child. His name might be Dave. His name might be Evan. His name might be Garrett. We literally don't know bro's name yet. But we just call him crying child because that's what he's like called in the files, and he's literally a crying child. So some people just call him CC. So CC, Michael, and Elizabeth. Elizabeth is the youngest. And what happens with that is that William's a shitty father, and he's always working and shit. So he has Michael, who is an immature preteen, and who is hanging around bad crowds of, well, not, I wouldn't say bad crowds, but you get what I mean. Like, he's hanging out with, they're literally called the bullies, and stuff.
Only the best of name, right?
Yeah, like, I'm pretty sure in the browser, I don't know, we literally called them, like, Foxy Bro, Bonnie Bully, Freddy Bully, Chica Bully, you know what I mean? Like, so, I feel like it's pretty obvious that they were very immature kids, and Michael doesn't want to take care of his brother, and it seems like there's a bit of jealousy there. Obviously, Afton isn't the best. He's kind of an abuser. He people will say that like Afton cared about his kids, and then like I have to pull out the like panel from the books where he slaps the shit out of Elizabeth simply for asking a question to him. Like, he is not a good father, and people will be like, "Oh, Elizabeth was his favorite." Elizabeth got her ass bitch slapped, and she's like 8, like an 8 little baby girl. So yeah, very sad. And Cece dies. And the way Cece dies is that, you know, the spring locks and everything and the Fredbear suit. So you know how at parties and like at like, you know, theme parks and everything, when there's like a monster, you put someone's head in like as a joke, like, "Oh, it's eating you," right? And his name is Crying Child, and the spring locks crack under moisture. It was his birthday, and Afton had the great idea of putting his birthday in Freddy's, where he works, when he knows that the Crying Child hates Freddy's, but doesn't like the animatronics and doesn't like Foxy and stuff, because his brother would constantly jump scare him and bully him with the Foxy mask. So he had all the Freddy plushies, but he ripped off Foxy's head because he didn't want to see it anymore. And his favorite one was the Golden Freddy plushie, Sight Kid Fredbear, and it would talk to him because it had like a microphone in it, which was William basically like talking to him through the device, keeping tabs on him, and he had cameras all over the house and shit like that. So he saw what Michael was doing and like saw the neglect and didn't give a shit. And this all culminates in Michael and his buddies putting Crying Child up to the Fredbear mouth and being like, oh, he wants to get a big old kiss with Fredbear. Ooh, look at this crying child. Such a crybaby. This is what you get for being like the favorite and like forcing, you know, being forced to take care of you all the time, blah blah blah, right? You know, Michael's an immature kid, and the spring locks snap and they bite down on Crying Child's head, and they didn't decide to make the fucking the mascot suit things foam, like its teeth foam, despite that literally being cheaper, and it crushes his skull. And he doesn't die there, but he's like basically brain dead, dying in the hospital. And that's when FNAF World happens, which is like the kid friendly like RPG of FNAF. I kind of feel like you would like it. I don't know. But like the whole map is based off of a brain.
I've seen videos of it.
Yeah, the whole map is based off of a brain. It's like a whole thing, and it's debated on like Cassidy, which is one of the kid spirits, trying to help him through, and the whole thing about Happiest Day, which is basically that it's like that memory of his birthday, but instead of it being going horribly, he has no friends and he dies. It's instead all the souls come to comfort him and be friends with him and have a good birthday, because all of them wanted that. And you know, they're just little kids, and they're angry little kids because they just got killed by, honestly, getting killed by a corny ass theater kid British guy from fucking Hurricane, Utah would get me pissed too when I was 8. But you know, they were just kids at a pizzeria enjoying their birthdays and shit, and they got fucking murked by a random ass guy who was like, "Ooh, you know, and I want to show you a cool thing in this backyard," and then fucking kills them. But yeah, so to summarize, get past the point, is that he dies on the operating table. Well, not on the operating table, in the hospital. Michael was like, "I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to do all this." I know I'm paraphrasing, but he really was really sorry. He's like a little kid. He accidentally just killed his brother. You know what I mean? He didn't really hate his brother. He loved his brother, but you know, he's a irresponsible and angry like preteen, who has also a very abusive dad. And the dad, William, in the voice of Fredbear, of the Fredbear plushie, says, "I will put you back together. We're still your friends. Don't you know that?" Etc. Etc. And like being like, "I will put you back together. Don't worry, son." And he dies, and he becomes a spirit, and he goes on to possess that Freddy model, Fredbear model. And basically, whoever dies in FNAF go on to possess whatever machinery is near them. And there's 2 types of it. So, for instance, if you're after
A child, someone dies next to a fucking toaster, you just
no, dude, you think that's funny? The phone and the call that I keep doing, phone guy dies in night 4 of the original game, and he and then he like comes back FNAF 2 when he didn't know what was going on because he didn't know that game was a prequel to FNAF 1, and people speculating that he and people just still do speculate, and it sounds really funny, but they do, of that he actually started possessing the phone. And not gonna lie, it like, you laugh, but this is a franchise with Phasgoo and like fucking robotic amulets that turn you into a robot, and time traveling ball pits and sea bonnies. I'm joking about none of this, by the way. And also literally a story about MatPat getting pregnant with Springtrap. No, I'm not joking about that either. You're laughing. I'm not joking. Don't laugh.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter if it's not a joke. That shit funny.
No, dude, the face that MatPat had when he was like, why did he write this? There was a whole semi-book about a guy named Matt getting pregnant with Springtrap, and it like alien coming out of him. And Scott later in an interview goes like, dude, I didn't mean for it to be Matt. That's just a very common name.
I didn't mean to be Pat. It was just Matt.
It was just a common name, okay? Listen, it didn't matter that he was a theorist too, okay? But yeah, basically, crying child dies, and you may be like, oh, why did like Afton have cameras and everything? He was doing experiments. He was doing crazy shit. And once he found out that his kid died, instead of being sad about it, he was intrigued. And he was like, and he also, let's just say he treated, he fucking abused Mike more than before. And people even theorize that it was because, like, there's a thing called The Immortal and the Restless, and it's like, oh, the baby isn't mine, the baby isn't mine. And people think that maybe William didn't think that maybe they got divorced or whatever, like his wife or whatever, because he thought she was cheating on him. And that Michael, like, you know, was the kid of a different guy, which is funny because it's also a big plot point that Michael looks exactly like his dad, and people literally mistake him for his dad. And there are several plot points where like there's even like imagery of them being puppets and Afton being the puppet master, and him literally looking like him. And like them looking like right next to each other. So if bro's genes were so dominant that it literally looks like you, and you're just hating on bro, I think that says something about you. You literally just hating on a little kid that looks exactly like you. Seems like a lot of self-hate there, Buster, and also a lot of child abuse.
I hate you. I'm literally just.
It literally bro looks
you.
just like you. But but yeah, so he defo abused Michael, but before and everything like that, he was also doing stuff to give crying child nightmares, and we don't know exactly how. We don't know if that was with illusion discs, which are basically just like illusions with the robots, nightmare gas, which is also basically illusions but with gas instead of a microchip. It more depends on what like area of the, you know, timeline you want to put it at, but basically it was giving him nightmares about the animatronics, so he wouldn't want to go back, which is weird and kind of double-sided, because then you put him back there for his birthday, dipshit. But also
You don't want to go back, but like.
But also I don't have any. But I'm too fucking cheap to get anybody to babysit you, for your fucking birthday. By the way, who I can't take my job off for. He's like, oh, it's great. I work at a, I work at an establishment that literally does birthdays. This is great. I work at a Chuck E. Cheese. Which, by the way, do you know Chuck E. Cheese took down their animatronics simply because they didn't want to be associated with FNAF, and they would actually have a rule book to not talk about FNAF, except the fact of their birthday, not their birthday, their Halloween special announcements, where they literally called it Five Nights at Chuck E.'s, and then they said that it was a coincidence, and then they literally deleted the animatronics. And now it's just a big fucking screen with the CGI Chucky, because they don't want to be associated with it.
Boo, that's boring. You know how many times I'd laugh at those videos where it's like Chuck E. Cheese and it's just the animatronic glancing over in a random direction?
Yeah.
That shit was awesome.
But anyway, so yeah, he was giving he was doing not cool stuff with Evan, crying child, whatever, and now he is dead, and now Afton is set on putting his son back together, but most importantly, like I want to preface that he doesn't give a shit about his kids. This is like when Walter White is like, I'm doing this for my family, I'm doing the money for my family, you know, it's because of the cancer, and it's like, no, dog, it's because it's for you, it's not it's not for your family, buddy. We had a whole conversation about this, not on stream, but a whole conversation about this like a day or two ago, about like irredeemable villains, and like how fandoms like want to cinnamon roll certain characters and then demonize other characters, and then also refuse to let villains just be villains, and they have to have like a gray area and everything like that. And I just want to say that Afton is definitely a fucked up dude, and you can like him, but he's not redeemable at all. He's not redeemable. He didn't care about his kids. When his fucking son died, he was just like, intriguing, instead of, holy shit, my son's dead, right?
I could use this.
But also, you know how he wore the Bonnie fursuit or whatever? Henry, you remember Henry, his business partner? Henry wore the Freddy suit. Wore the golden Freddy suit, right? Not Golden Freddy specifically. Fred Bear. Golden Freddy is a different character, but they're kind of the same. We don't know. It's hard. There's a lot of numbers, name stuff.
A lot of nuance.
A lot of contradictory. Let's say that. But to basically say he wore that suit, and people go, oh, so then Afton saw, oh, his robot, his character is what killed my son. He took something away from me, so I'm gonna take something away from him. And I didn't mention this, but Henry has a daughter, Charlotte Emily, and Afton, after going to Junior's, a local bar, and drowning his sorrows away in beer, and then literally kicking him out, on his way back he's like, oh, I'm gonna give Henry a piece of my mind. On his way over to Fredbear's Family Diner, he sees Charlotte outside getting picked on by kids, and the kids are locked them inside. Locked them inside. Locked Charlotte outside in the rain, and also locked out the puppet, which is a security thing where everybody needed to have colored bracelets, like green bracelets, to signify that they were kids and they needed to be protected by a security bot, basically so that no one no one would try to take a kid out or do anything, and basically so that it could stop something happening that happened before with the bite, right?
Yeah.
And Henry made that, and he made it especially to stop anything happening to his daughter. But it's locked out. The puppet is locked in a box that the kids put it in, and Charlotte is locked outside, so it can't recognize her or do anything, and it's a fucking robot. And Afton sees this and goes, oh, another problem to fix. And he's like, hold on, gamers.
My revenge.
I know what to do. And he beats the ever-loving shit out of that 9-year-old or whatever into a bloody pulp onto that goddamn street in a back alley, which is really sad because I keep seeing comics and shit where it's like, oh, Uncle William? And then she gets her ass fucking killed. And yeah, so William just fucking beats the shit out of her, laughs maniacally, kills her ass, and yeah, so he's got a taste for the blood. It has fully taken out the serial killer inside of him, and he laughs his ass all the way home, and that's what Midnight Motorist is, which is him going back home after killing her. But before that, the puppet comes out trying to save her, but it's the rain, so it's malfunctioning. It's a robot, and both the robot and her die in the alley, and the robot tries to comfort her and hug her and protect her from the rain, not knowing what to do, and she goes on to possess the puppet. Now William comes back home, and he's all drunk and shit, and his wife is watching TV or whatever, and she's like, leave Michael alone this night. He's had a really tough night. And the thing is you remember those nightmares I was talking about earlier? Yeah, it wasn't just him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing the same shit to Michael too. So Michael is getting a heavy dose of nightmare fuel injected in his fucking veins. And not actually injecting his veins. I mean, like nightmare gas and shit. He's having crazy nightmares of the animatronics, and he is actually seeing, this might actually be real, the ghost of Fredbear outside of his window. But when he breaks the window and runs out, the footprints have actually indented into the floor. So it was actually kind of real. And it was just staring at him outside. And
scary as hell.
And he runs out. He runs out into the forest. Runs out into something that looks a lot like this. And he runs out to a mount, which people assume is the gravesite of the kid. And he went back to that place again. And William's knocking at the door. It's locked, and he's like, "You motherfucker! I hate you, your fucking son!" And he runs out to the back, and he sees the door is broken, and the window is broken. And he's like, oh, he must have run off to that place again. Okay. whatever. He'll be sorry when he gets back. And it's like, calm the fuck down, British boy. But yeah.
Damn, go sober up.
Go sober up, blood. Now, I don't know exactly where to put this, because no one does. But Elizabeth. Elizabeth dies, sadly. Like, literally all of them. This is very much everyone fucking dies, and it's all William's fault. And everyone
Like that
tries
one anime Akame got killed.
everyone tries to stop William from doing the shit things he does, and they're all the they're all like, I was gonna say a side effect. They're all casualties of his own evil. But yeah, so I didn't know where to put this. It's stated that that Elizabeth's death might be before CC's, might be after. We don't know, but I'll say it now. Is that basically Henry goes, I know that you killed my daughter. Like, he doesn't say it outright, but he's like, I know you did shit, and kicks him out of Fazbear's or whatever. And he's like really depressed about his daughter, and he's trying to like know like what to do, because like he doesn't want other kids to get killed. And here's the thing, I haven't mentioned this. The most iconic part of Freddy's and the deaths are the 5 missing children, which is Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, and Golden Freddy. The OG FNAF 1 gang. And we even know all their names. Freddy is Gabriel, Fritz is Foxy, Jeremy is Bonnie, Susie is Chica, and Cassidy is Golden Freddy. Now you may say, what the fuck are you talking about? I thought Golden Freddy was Cece. Guess what? There's actually 2 souls inside of the Golden Freddy spirit. Inside of the Golden Freddy body, there are 2 spirits. So they're actually sharing a body. And
Is there like an indicator to show who's in control?
we don't get to see too much, so we don't know specifically. But in certain things, like in one of the endings where it's like showing their eyes going out to show that the spirits are leaving, it only shows one of Golden Freddy's eyes go off to show that Cassidy hasn't moved on. And there's also several things like the books which like hint at other lores, and there's the Stitch Wraith, which is basically like one kid controlling the like eyes so he can see, and one kid controlling the body. And people assume that that's what that was, and that Evan, Cece, or whatever is controlling the body, and Cassidy is controlling the face, or the eyes, right? So, yeah, this turned into a job similar to lore autism simulator explain. You know, I actually
into a lore screen.
hell yeah, I did. You know, I actually explained the lore to staff 2 times, and then immediately afterwards, which by the way, I did all, it was a long time ago. It was like early high school. So, you know, it was a little shorter back then.
That was a while ago.
Yeah, it was like early high school. I didn't know anybody. This was pre-knowing literally anybody. And I had like that yellow hoodie and everything. And I was whitewashing myself in my drawings and shit. It was insane. So yeah, all that shit, all that like stuff, and I remember explaining it twice in one class period in our PE class period. While we were running, I was explaining it. The entire FNAF lore. I know, I'm a fucking champ. Autism and ADHD, ADD spectrum, fucking champion over here. And we sat down.
And the stamina, holy crap,
Hell
running
yeah.
and talking.
Yeah, dude, I'm crazy like that. Which, by the way, I have bad lungs. I don't know if y'all know this. I have bad lungs. One time we went to the doctor as a kid, and my mom like actively said like the doctors said that you have like the lungs of an old man. But that is like I don't completely believe that. I feel like I have other problems other places that aren't my lungs specifically. But yes, it does, like I can run, but I do have kind of low stamina if I don't pace myself well. But I was pacing myself well because I was thinking about FNAF. Anyway, so I literally explained the whole FNAF lore, and staff sat down, and the first thing they said was like, okay, so William and Michael are dating. What? What? Like, dude, the way that like I almost like I froze He was like, "What? Did I say something wrong? I'ma kill you. I'ma kill you.
I think you got that a little wrong.
I'ma kill you for real." Anyway, to get back on track, 5 missing kids. All I gotta say is that after Fazbear's Diner and after that got closed, Freddy Fazbear's got opened, and they had and this is before Cece's death, and they had a TV show called that was like Freddy and Friends and stuff, and this is like the introduction of the brown bear, the introduction of Chica and blah, 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 right, all this stuff, right, and like Bonnie being blue and stuff like that, and Afton is upset because Golden Freddy is there, but his persona, Spring Bonnie, is not there, so he's kind of pissed about that, and shit like that. But blah blah blah, things continue. Cece fucking dies and shit. And the missing kids, basically, they're at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, which was open with Fredbear's until Cece's death. Now it's just that one, right? So basically, he keeps killing kids. He gets in the Spring Bonnie costume that is now in storage and like in the back room because, you know, Fredbear Diner is it's closed off, right? So they have all the shit in storage and shit. So he puts on the costume and he lures kids in the back and he's like, "Oh, you know, I have promises of cakes and cookies and promises of I'll do your homework and blah blah blah." And specifically Susie was so diabolical because Susie was sad and playing a Fruity Maze arcade machine, and she was crying, and you see Afton in the background, and he's like, "Oh, what's wrong? What's wrong?" And she's like, "Oh, my dog died. You know, my dog is dead." And he went, "No, he's not. He's right here with me. I actually have him over here. You can help me. Follow me, right? Follow me, right?" And he kills Susie and stuffs her into the suit. What are you listening to? Is that fucking
Michael, what are you listening to?
Michael Afton, what the fuck are you listening to?
We just hear the Squidward. Why aren't you in
Why aren't you in? Wait. I can wait.
I didn't realize.
Wait, give me a sec. I can do something. Wait. Excuse me. Why aren't you in uniform?
Spring Bonnie.
But anyway, so yeah, so about the Lord stuff, basically, if I could continue, the 5 kids, I hear you, man. The 5 kids get.
I hear you.
No, I hear it. The 5 kids get killed. Chica was the first. Then I think Bonnie, which by the way, Jeremy is a very common name in Five Nights at Freddy's, and it will there are a bunch of Jeremys that get killed, so we don't know who each Jeremy is. There's a bunch of different Jeremys in the series, which is really weird, but also okay. I feel like we've already explained that that Scott has a hard time with names, so he just had a convention where he named an entire bloodline Jeremy. I don't know why he did that, but honestly, it would have been really funny.
This is the Jeremy line.
It would have been really funny if this guy's name was Jeremy. But yeah, no, a lot of people are named Jeremy in the series for no fucking reason. But yeah, so that kid is named Jeremy. Right? They continue. But the puppet gives gifts and gives life, and gives the gift of life to the animatronics and to the kids' souls. And oh my god, I thought that car was gonna hit me, and that's just a stationary car. That's my car. I was like, oh fuck,
That's
no,
my
don't
dog.
do it, don't do it. But I was gonna say was yeah. So gives life, and that's how the animatronics are alive. There are 2 parts of it though. In the most simple way I could explain it, remnant and agony. I feel like a lot of people would have a hard time explaining what that is because it's basically the supernatural shit that makes all the animatronics move. Basically, all you've got to know is that remnant means the soul of the person, and agony means the agony infused within the pain of their death or whatever, right? So basically, Afton has a lot of agony because he literally got spring locked alive. The kids have a lot of agony because they're little kids and got fucking stabbed to death and stabbed in and then put into suits, right? Etc. Etc. Right? So some have more agony than others. Agony is its own thing. Agony is a very like a hateful emotion, obviously, and a very powerful one at that. So it can like do a lot of things. It can power its own animatronics and shit, and they have no mind. They're very animalistic because it's literally just agony and hate, right? But the remnant is that person's soul. The remnant is the soul, right? But the thing is that
I mean, like Foxy has a good amount of like agony considering he's like running all the time, or is that just more something he does because he can?
I think people theorize that the way that they died lines up to the way that they function. That Foxy died running away. I think it was Chica died like crying or something. Freddy died hiding, and Bonnie died fighting. No shit. It's actually I'm pretty sure it's hinted at. I think in the I don't know if it's canon, but talked about in the Charlie books that that Jeremy straight up like kicked William in the struggle to kill him, and it hurt his jaw for like 2 weeks, which like good for him.
Yeah, I remember hearing stuff like that when the FNAF movie came out.
Yeah, like you see a bunch of edits of Jeremy beating the shit out of William Afton for no fucking reason.
Dude,
it's like
all over the place.
getting packed up by a 9-year-old.
with hands.
Getting packed up by a fucking 9-year-old is crazy. But yeah, I'm crazy. Yeah, Jeremy didn't run without no fight. He tried to beat the shit out of him. Dude, I still thought bro was gonna hit me. Oh, I thought he was gonna hit me. I thought he was gonna hit me. you know, new Smiling Friends stuff is coming out apparently. They're getting screenings of the new season and everything. That's pretty cool.
I watched Smiling Friends to begin with.
It's a good show. I watched the whole thing with Rox earlier. It was a good show.
Dude, I tried to watch it on my own and the website which wasn't working. I was so sad.
Don't worry, dog. I got you. I can show you something later. But anyway, so yeah, kids die. You know, Marriott puts them back together, put the pieces back together, blah, 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 and which is a famous quote, by the way, of the we have the you have the pieces, just you can just put it back together the same way that Afton said I'll put you back together, because there was a lot of like the thing is like the way we got a lot of Easter eggs and things and stuff like that was through scottgames.com and through his like website, and now it's different where now like with Steelwool it's like looking at shit through the promotional videos. But yeah, it used to be like decoding shit on the website, and there's actual like lore and like hidden things behind that stuff, like crazy shit. Like there was actual like plot points hidden inside of the code of this shit, and not in the way that like Deltarune has it, where like there's like a character that talks in the code. Like no, it's like a whole plot point was just in there. So
The plot. What?
But anyway, MCI, Children's Incident. Henry obviously doesn't want this to happen again. Kicks William out. Is like, I need to find a way to protect the kids from this guy. So he makes the toy animatronics with security, like the puppet in them, but to like have a database full of any which by the way is super high tech for the old ass time that this is in. I don't know if you know this, but this is like 1987 or like, you know, like 1980s and shit. Yeah, so like they were revolutionary, and they were out here killing kids and making pizzerias. Like, dude, why aren't you guys in Harvard? Like, are you fucking insane?
You sell this technology, dog.
This is why you motherfuckers are from Utah. Anyway, no shit to my Utah viewers. No shit to my Utah viewers. But yeah. So anyway, he builds a toy animatronics, and that is what FNAF 2 is. And the Wizards are, see, that was FNAF 1. The Wizards are the like broken up pieces of the original animatronics that were used in spare parts of the toy ones, which are the new ones, which actually is going to be the plot for the new movie. because that's technically FNAF 2, which is technically
yeah.
a prequel to FNAF 1, because after all this happens and everything, the new pizzeria, they repair the old animatronics, and that's how FNAF 1 is. So we just got to FNAF 1. But yeah. I know I'm being very speedy with everything, and I know it sounds probably crazy to you, but this is like, what, 10 years of lore packed into one thing, and we still don't understand everything, and I'm paraphrasing a lot here and not explaining a lot of things. But even trying to summarize the FNAF lore is very hard to explain in a summary, without leaving out.
It does
like,
seem
everything.
that way.
Without leaving like everything. I'm trying to.
Yeah,
summarize,
we're like
I
an hour
swear.
into. We're in an hour into stream.
I'm trying to summarize, I swear.
Drink now.
I'm literally just like taking out plot points, like how they're coming out. So anyway, Afton is like, screw you, I don't need you anymore. He makes Afton Robotics, and those cameras and stuff. He makes an underground bunker out of his house, under his house, with all that money that he made from Freddy's, and with that, he makes Circus Baby's Pizzeria, or not? What was it, like Circus Baby's Party World or whatever? No, that was Chica's Party World. Circus Baby's Rental Entertainment. I forgot what it was called. Circus Baby's Party World, I think.
And that's actually one that I did fully watch. I think I watched like Jacksepticeye play through the entire game.
See,
and I really
that's
actually
funny.
enjoyed
That's
that.
funny you say that, because that's technically not where I am at the moment. We will get there though.
Oh.
That's how our sister location starts. But that is where Baby and everything starts on all those clowns. Though this is technically where the clown shit starts. You know, this game, and that's why it's referenced in FNAF 1. But then whatever happens in this game, Afton goes, oh hell yeah, Jigsaw, and makes more clowns and more circus shit, and after Fall Fest. So that is Circus Baby stuff, and I can finally get to explaining Elizabeth's test. We still don't know where it comes in. We don't know where this plot point is. I'm just explaining it now. Is that it's Afton's restaurant or whatever. Circus Baby is the main person. Funtime Freddy, Funtime Foxy, Ballora, which is supposed to look like his wife because he's divorced and he's a fucking pussy, and he misses his divorced wife that probably hated him and also made her eyes closed. What?
I miss my webtails.
I miss my webtails. I miss her a lot. Yeah, and he made her eyes closed to be like, oh, she's blind to my vision. Oh my god, you fucking theater kid. Now I can really tell. Like, I am so like, honestly, I feel like Dead by Daylight has really opened my eyes up to Afton's characterization. And yes, he's horrible. Yes, he's evil, but he's also a fucking pussy from Utah. He's also a little grabby bitch, and I don't respect him in any way. And I like how corny he is. How he's like, I'm the fun one. And like random shit. Also, Michael, are you good over there? I can hear your thing.
Michael, put on some headphones.
Put on some
dog.
headphones,
I
dog.
did. I turned up the volume all the way.
Stop
and then
putting it all. Why did you put it all the way up? you dumb or something? Why you putting it all the way up?
Dude.
No, it was hilarious. It was hilarious.
Okay. Well. Anyway.
I mean, I'll stop now, but it was funny.
No, it's good. It's good. It's
Yeah,
good.
alright.
It's good. But anyway, so I don't know if we mentioned if this was mentioned in an earlier talk or something like that. But it is funny how bro will do nightmare experiments and shit like that on his kids to make him afraid of his own job and the animatronics, to stop them from getting killed and dying, right? And then when he makes Circus Babies, guess who Circus Baby is based off of if Ballora is based off his wife? Circus Baby is based off of Elizabeth, off, you know, his baby, right? And his quote-unquote favorite child that always listened to him, even though he also abused her and didn't give a shit about her. And he's like, oh yeah, Elizabeth, I made this one for you. This one is literally based off of you, right? So imagine being a kid. Imagine your dad works, your dad is a fucking robot engineer, crazy motherfucker that makes kids like pizzeria places, and he made a new one. Well, she doesn't know that, she's like 8. He made a new one, and it's literally based off an animatronic he made in your likeness. Like, you are Baby. That's so cool, right? I love my dad, right? Who wouldn't? And then he immediately goes, by the way, you can't go near her or talk to her or touch her or be in the same room with her. In fact, don't be in the same room with her alone or anything like that. And you don't know why? Because the fucking the I don't know if you know this, but if you look at the blueprints for the Funtimes, they have killing mechanisms. Funtime Foxy lures people, and Funtime Freddy kills them. And Funtime Freddy literally has a kid in his a kid in like a pouch inside of his stomach in his blueprints, because basically, not only is Remnant soul, but Remnant can also be used as energy and life force because it's literally a soul, right? And it can be used to infuse robots like the puppet was doing. So, William, like the pussy he is, runs from death. He's not, you know, I think we explained this earlier, but he isn't cheating death. He isn't pulling a, you know, penny out his ass and like the logs start coming and Final Destination. You know, no. He is afraid of death. He cowers in death. He is a goddamn pussy. And so he tries his very best to find out how to become immortal, because he's so scared of dying and reaping the consequences of what he's sown, because he's already killed kids. He's already killed like 6, and he's about to kill more. And basically, he's super afraid of death. So he sees Freddy and everybody, like, you know, trying to like help out, and sees the puppet, and that's how they get dismantled before FNAF 1. Is he is, you know, the I Hope You Die in a Fire animation? That's him going. That's him going like back to Freddy's as a quote unquote security guard with his hand crank and like dismantling all of them, and that's how they get all withered and shit. I'm pretty sure. I don't remember. It's off the top of my head. I'm literally getting everything off the top of my head. I'm just talking. Okay. I've studied this shit. I am a theorist for a reason, and I've been doing this shit for years and years and years. But also the story actively changes every fucking month, so it's hard to keep up. But the general things are we've agreed upon, which is what I'm trying to explain to you. This is general shit. This is the general shit. But anyway, so he's like, Elizabeth, don't go there. And she's like, but Daddy, why won't you let me play with her? You made her just for me. Come on, please. Please, 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 please. Because she's a fucking 8-year-old little baby child, and she obviously wants to see the animatronic based off of her. You know what I mean? Obviously you would. Especially considering he's not babysitting or anything. So she's in the restaurant, in the building, and she's just being trusted not to go over there. Is he stupid? Like, for such a smart guy, he's dumb as fuck. For such an innovative man, he's dumb as fuck.
Book smart. He's book smart, not street smart.
Yeah, no, it's funny. Henry was so much better than you. I fucking wonder why. Maybe he had a conscience on him. Maybe he had some humanity in him. Which, by the way, Henry is definitely hella depressed right now, doing stuff with the toys and shit. And by the way, the toys don't work. William comes back before dismantling the robots, and he comes back with as a security guard. Gets back into the back room, which by the way doesn't have cameras. That's why he keeps going to the back room and luring kids in the back room. It's the only place with no cameras, besides I guess the bathrooms. And he like lures them over there, and he kills 5 more kids. That's 11 kids, dude. You've killed 11 kids now. And it's so crazy. We don't know anything about DCI. We don't know anything about those other 5 kids that he just killed. We don't know shit about them. We don't know. We don't know shit. We think maybe they might possess the toys, but they also seem too robotic to be possessed. So we don't fucking know. Also, the possessed like kids are like they're like little remnant soul guys, so it's hard to know. You know, they got possessed and returned into robots and shit, so their minds are scrambled and they don't know what's going on. And that's why I mentioned that Michael looks a lot like his dad and like anybody who's an adult. Basically, they're hostile to anybody who's an adult, which is what the 𝐿𝐵𝑖𝑡 of 83 was. I know Markiplier will yell, "Oh, was that the 𝐿𝐵𝑖𝑡 of 87?" The 𝐿𝐵𝑖𝑡 of 83 was the big bite where Cece died. The 𝐿𝐵𝑖𝑡 of 87 that you keep getting reference to is that someone, maybe named Jeremy, got their frontal lobe bitten off by one of the animatronics because they were seen as an adult and they were seen as a threat to the kids. And obviously, the very vengeful, very agony-filled robot kids don't want any adult being near a kid because the last time that happened, they died. So one of them, maybe Mangle, we don't know, maybe Chica, maybe Foxy, we don't know exactly who it was. So one of them killed that motherfucker. Well, didn't kill him, but the frontal lobe, gone, bro, gone. It's theorized that he's the same Jeremy from Help Wanted and stuff. But yeah. That also might be the reason why Toy Chica doesn't have her beak. Like because she has a line about like it getting lodged in your forehead. So she might be the one who caused the bite of 87. But yeah, bro is gone. Bro is gone. They got his ass. Fuck you, Jeremy.
Got his ass and his frontal lobe.
And his frontal lobe. To come back to Elizabeth, let's just I keep not talking about her death. Let's talk about her death. She obviously comes into the room with baby because she obviously wants to, and she's like, "I don't know why Daddy won't let me play with you. You're wonderful." And then all the kids leave because they don't give a shit about Elizabeth, and then they're very sheltered, and no one cares about them, and they probably didn't even notice that she was in the room. They had no friends, right? Which for an abusive father is, I guess, is a good thing. I guess, bro. I don't even know. Did they even go to school? We don't know. Were they fucking homeschooled? I don't know. But anyway, so they didn't have any friends and shit. She was just like, "Wow, you're wonderful," right? And Circus Baby, being a robot killing machine that Afton made her to be, which is why, remember when I asked to go to get ice cream and I said I really hope I don't die to an animatronic? Robot, the Circus Baby robot, takes out a vanilla cone out of her stomach hatch and gives it to Elizabeth. And when she goes to reach for the cone, a scooper, a little big ass fucking scissor thing, grabs, like a grabber, grabs Elizabeth and stuffs her inside of Circus Baby's stomach. Now I said a stomach pouch, not like is dead. See, he wanted the remnant. He wanted to capture kids. But it's unclear whether he wanted them dead or not. But it didn't really matter. Because Elizabeth got snatched in there without knowing. And literally, like, her spine broke and shit. Like, I don't know exactly how she died. But, like, she died in like, stuck in there. Like, bleeding out inside of the robot that her father made for her. Which is honestly really sad. It's kind of weird that, like, some parts of the fandom like demonized her and was like, "She's a favorite child," and it's like, girl, it's 8-year-old right there. It's like in the Gravity Falls fandom where people were like, "Oh, Mabel's horrible. Mabel is 12. Mabel is fucking 12. Mabel's a 12-year-old girl.
Mabel is not just a child. Like, come on.
Mabel's a goddamn child. It's also like, how do you guys sympathize with William and then demonize the kids that got killed and are killing other people because, like, yeah, no shit, they're angry, they're agony, right? And yeah, so they obviously see adults as bad. They kill any like security guards or anybody showing up. That's how Phone Guy dies. By the way, Phone Guy is called a Ralph, and he has a daughter named I think her name is Clementine or something like that. I forgot. But yeah, he's basically a big suck up to FNAF or to the Fazbear Entertainment, right? All that stuff, and yeah. So, but he totally dies on night 4 to Golden Freddy. But there's a whole book that is canon that is a choose your own like adventure, like multi ending, a hard like a book with a hard mode. It is a interactive video game book that is canon to the games called The Week Before, and it's basically explaining all of Ralph's stuff. And yeah, and like leaving the voicemails he leaves for Michael. But anyway, to continue, Elizabeth dies, and Baby's eyes used to be blue, and now they're green, just like Elizabeth's eyes. And William shuts down the Circus Babies. Circus Babies was closed due to, hear me out, due to gas leaks. Now, you know how I said Scott Cawthon like put stuff on his website, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he literally just put an image called like "canceled due to leaks," and people thought that they basically ended FNAF because they were being too toxic to Scott. And then if you brighten the image in Photoshop, it says "canceled via leaks," and basically like explains that like Afton basically pretend like, yeah, no, Circus Baby's like it you know, dude, bunch of gas leaks, and they on this is their opening day, by the way. This wasn't like a thing that started in like, you know, in a couple weeks. No, this was opening day. Elizabeth died opening day. So yeah, so they immediately had to close it down after opening day. And Fazbear and all that stuff don't have the best reputation. So he uses the underground bunker as a storage area, puts all the baby stuff, all the other stuff, and he, you know how he dismantled all the original animatronics? He takes their endoskeletons, and I have a question. Where do you think the remnant is being stored inside of the robots? It's in the metal. It is like the liquid metal.
Yeah.
Right? So he liquefies all their animatronic parts down, and he basically makes soul soup. Which, like, imagine being 5 fucking kids in a soul soup. You know, that's obviously very disorienting, and
it sounds like some MHA shit, I'm gonna be honest.
Like, as in My Hero?
Yeah.
How?
Yeah.
Cause that's what All for One
Vestiges.
does with the souls. Cause remember the quirks hold the
Yeah.
vestiges of the person.
Yeah, no, you're right. I was a little confused about that, but yeah, you know, you're right, the vestiges. But yeah, no, so they're, how I see it is like their spirits are being like swished together in like a soup, and it's really fucking scary, and like, dude, those are little kids, and that's really sad. Like, I know FNAF is like, you know, sometimes it can be silly, goofy, only for kids, but it can also be kind of graphic, and like, though FNAF doesn't have like it has implied violence more than it has actual violence. This might change that though. I very much want to play this game. I want to hurry this up. And also Dead by Daylight like had like William like killing people, which, by the way, you know, he seems a little you know, I don't know, a little showman show for all the kids. Basically, none of the survivors in that game are allowed to be kids. So he's killing people that are over his age range usually. You know, where he usually kills people. Doesn't usually kill adults. You know. In fact, I don't think he has. I think maybe only in the books he did. I don't know. After Silver Eyes and shit. But anyway, maybe to like cover up tracks or something. So yeah, so he melted them together, and he put them in a Funtime. He put a bit of the remnant juice, shit, agony stuff, like all that juice, inside of the coils of Funtime Freddy, and it started like erratically moving and going insane and shit. And then he looks over at Circus Baby, who has green eyes and tells like weirdly familiar stories and is very calm. And he's like, "What the fuck?" So he thinks he assumes that possession is real and stuff because he saw the puppet and he saw Charlotte and he like dismantled them. But doing this didn't like it just made them animalistic, just made them agony, right? And he's just like a fucking Victor Frankenstein in this bitch, like toying with life and death, and with agony and remnant, and he basically puts him in the fun times, and Elizabeth is stuck in baby, and yeah, so that's when sister location happens, and they're all down there, and basically at the very end, he when he goes to dismantle all those animatronics and shit, right? This is actually when it happens. He goes to dismantle the animatronics originally, right? And everything. And he goes to the back room, and guess who he gets cornered by?
The souls.
Yep, the 5 original souls. Cassidy, the vengeful spirits, right? Specifically the vengeful spirit Cassidy. See, I haven't mentioned why Cassidy was the worst one. Now, we don't exactly know, but I really like the idea that Cassidy got spring-locked alive. And I even saw fan animations of like being like, oh, cat, like...
Not that reason.
Huh?
The reason behind that is because Cassidy, when William No, William beat her up extra. That's why she's mad.
That was game theory's idea of it. We don't exactly know if that's true. I like the interpretation that bro got her ass got spring locked, like alive, because it's very it's a big parallel to what's about to happen. So yeah, so from my point of view and my interpretation, Cassidy gets spring locked, and that is definitely, like, because it's always stated that, oh, the vengeful spirit Cassidy or whatever, right, Golden Freddy was like, that was the one you should not have killed. That one, that one you went too far with, which is a little weird because he's been killing kids, and it's like, what do you mean? But like, he really went far on that one. Like, it was just for the funsies. And yeah, so he straight up either beat the ever-living shit out of bro until, like, which kind of also might have been what happened with Charlotte. But I say bro got spring locked alive, which insane. You're just a little kid in a fucking oh boy, I'm celebrating my birthday. Spring locks in real life. What the fuck, right? So that is definitely a big reason how a lot of agony to be very vengeful, to be called the vengeful spirit. So yeah, Cassidy is the vengeful spirit and is actively sharing a body with Cece. And yeah, so the 5 original guys pull up, being led by Cassidy, by the vengeful spirit, and Afton, like the pussy he is, runs away, sweating. Oh no, gamers! But he's in the back room where his Bonnie suit is. So he puts on the Bonnie suit to try to intimidate the kids, try to be like, I am the one in power, I am the one who killed you. You don't know who I am, right? Why are you trying to fucking orify on these kids? But I don't know if you remember this, but erratic movement, moisture, it sets off the spring locks. And it sets off the spring locks. And they clamp onto him, and he gets stabbed every which way, metal rods sticking into him. And yeah, so he gets spring locked, and Cassidy watches him get spring locked. And they all disappear and stuff, right? So now Afton is dead. Or is he? You see, the remnant and the will of the series and all that stuff, his remnant and his agony, obviously, because that's a big agony, right? But also, being sprinkled alive is kind of crazy style. So Cassidy and Afton both have such grand wills that he basically possesses his own body, because people possess the thing that were near, they were near. So he possesses basically his own body. And yeah, so now he's basically like, I will always come back. I have achieved immortality. And he sees the Springlock suit and his thing as Springtrap not as a downgrade, not as a punishment, but as an upgrade. As like, he has achieved his goal. He has finally become his persona. He is like, he has achieved immortality, right? He's fucking, he's crazy. No, but you think I'm joking? That's his fucking persona. That's his fucking persona. He's a murderous fucking British dude who kills kids in Utah, and he's got a goddamn persona, and he wants to be immortal. Like, what's wrong with this guy? He's abusive to his kids, and anyway. So, basically, now everybody is dead. Michael's pretty much the only one left. And the person that the rights obviously go to is not Michael, because he's a little kid kind of at the moment. He's still like kind of a young adult. So the rights go back to Henry. And Henry comes out of his grieving, and he's like, fuck, Jigsaw, fuck, right? And someone reports something in the back room, and he looks over. What the fuck is this? And he sees William in the pool of red, in that lake of red. He sees William sitting there, like, begging, like, come on, dude, we were business partners. Blood. And he walks away, and he says, man, fuck you, Jigsaw. He walks away, obviously. I mean, you killed his daughter, you killed a bunch of kids. It's like, no, he does not forgive you. He is not helping your ass. He would not help you in a million years, bro. So yeah, he actually seals off that area, and that for 30 years he is behind that wall. And fun fact, this is actually where Dead by Daylight takes place, where the fog fucking gets him. So technically, it might be canon that in between those 30 years of him being stuck down there, it was him in in the game killing people, and that's why his will was up. We don't know if that's technically canon, but it definitely, like, it's able to slot in there. So from all we know, William was playing Dead by Daylight in that bitch. So I guess good for him. I don't know, but he was stuck back there for 30 years. And yeah.
Break down no doors.
No breakdown of doors. Yeah, he's a frail ass dude. He's on the floor. He's Golden Freddy pose. Also, I think this is a good time to mention that Golden Freddy can basically change his form and like is kind of a ghost, but is kind of corporeal, which is a way to explain the whole being outside and leaving footprints with Michael. And also the fact that with the wizard and everything, and the fact that he doesn't change forms, and sometimes he does change forms, and sometimes he looks like Fredbear, and sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes he looks withered, and sometimes he has a black hat, and sometimes he has a purple hat. It's basically because he's a ghost, kind of, not really, agony-ish ghost. There are agony spirits, though. Shadow Bonnie and Shadow Freddy might be agony creations, might be like Nightmare, and that was FNAF 4. Since all the stuff in Ultimate Custom Night being like, I am your wickedness become flesh, and stuff like that. So we don't know a lot about them, but they're basically like pure agony creatures. And even in FNAF AR, Shadow Bonnie or RQXDRR or whatever the fuck the name is.
Nobody's saying his full name.
Yeah, no one's saying bro's full name. Basically, the full name is a keyboard spam, but we just call him like Shadow Freddy. But yeah, so Shadow Freddy, which is, by the way, a Shadow Vision.
Shadow Bonnie or RX. That's it.
Or RXQ5, fucking whatever the fuck, whatever his name is.
It's just RX.
Give him a QR code.
Shadow Bonnie.
Basically, bro got named by Elon Musk. So, but
Keyboard
yeah,
spam.
bro got keyboard spammed. Your name is a QR code to find the digital cookie, and you motherfucker.
Yeah, and then we have Shadow Freddy.
Yeah, and then there's just Shadow Freddy. So we don't know all there is to those guys, but let's just chalk them up to agony creation monster stuff, and they're shown around tragedies and stuff like that. So basically they are like agony taking form in places. So that's what you gotta say. How about we switch up to Michael's era, aka pretty much all the games. See, this is all backstory stuff. What about the actual games? Michael Afton pulls up. Basically what happens is Michael is obviously traumatized and stuff by everything. He's slightly not really loyal to his dad. Not really. Because it's like, that guy's an asshole. But he's also all he has, and he's a kid. But Michael is actually a little grown up now. He's enough to get a job. And before Afton leaves and gets spring locked, he basically says, "Yo, your sister's alive." What? Yeah, she's in the fucking she's in this bunker shit. And he basically gives him the instructions to the sister location bunker. And that's when sister location happens. So Afton is in the 30-year thing, while Michael is in sister location. And if you don't know, sister location happens, and baby manipulates Michael into going into the scooper room, and the scooper room scoops at his insides. The scooper was meant to immediately dislodge the machine from the exoskeleton of the robots, right? Basically so that he could get the remnant faster, because the remnant is actually the robot and not the exoskeleton, right? So it's literally just automatic skinning of the suit. So they basically automatically skinned Michael's insides out and ripped out all his organs. And he got scooped. And the reason this all happened, and the reason the baby did this, and the thing is again, they think that he might be William. He looks a lot like William. and they assume all the adults are evil and shit. And if you literally look like William and you're an adult and you're wearing a fucking purple Fredbear suit, yeah, they think you're him, right? Even if you say you're not, right? And they are definitely too blinded by their anger and dislocated, you know, they're fucking spirits in fucking 𝓂𝒃𝓬 shit, you know, like you know what I mean, like, so they're very disoriented, and they try to kill bro and everything, but Elizabeth, aka Baby, is like, no dude, trust, I'm your friend, but she's only doing all this as a front to basically get everyone scooped. And when she lures Michael in there, she reveals that everyone, her, Ballora, Funtime Freddy, Funtime Foxy, everybody has already been scooped. And they were all put together, the pieces put together, all into one unified body, 𝓕𝕗𝑅𝑑, which is a big tangle of wires that look humanoid and has a clown mask, again with the clowns, and a party hat, and it's called 𝓕𝕗𝑅𝑑. And 𝓕𝕗𝑅𝑑 even, which is a really scary part of that game, and I think is one of the best parts of FNAF, is when 𝓕𝕗𝑅𝑑 uses Elizabeth's voice to lure Michael in, and it's like, brother, blah, 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 right? And then like I've seen animations of 𝓕𝕗𝑅𝑑 going like, brother, brother, and it's like a robot, like it's like a mimic, literally like a mimic, right? Like talking just like talking like a little kid. Which is really scary to me, and people keep theorizing that the mimic is going to, if it ever does talk by itself, it will sound like David. And I'll explain who David and Edwin and all that stuff is if you need me to. But David was a kid that the mimic was close to in the books. We don't know if that is all clear. There was a tweet like, oh, if you read the book, you don't even know the half of it. So this is either.
Spoilers, but it's also stated in the game.
I know. I'm assuming it's stated in the game too, but they say you don't know the half of it.
Talk about it.
So it's obviously stated in the game, right? But I can give my Jackie's Box rendition, very very quick summary of that later. Don't talk to me about that. But yeah. So anyway, 𝓕𝕗𝑅𝑑 did all this shit and is basically using Michael as a skin suit because anytime they try to leave, they can't. And they obviously want to leave. So they're using him as like a skin puppet to pretend like they're human to walk outside of the pizzeria or walk outside the bunker untouched. Right? Which Michael is trying to help them because basically he sees all this shit. And you know how he was loyal to his father? Hell no, not anymore. After he's seen all the shit he saw in Sister Location, after he saw the heads on and the babies and the British kids and all the fucking insane shit and all this stuff and the remnant and the scooper and the kids getting killed and all those like rumors, that's what he was doing the whole time. That's what the Fredbear plushie was. That's what he was doing all this when he was having to babysit his brother. This is what his fucking dad was doing. He was experimenting fucking Victor Frankenstein down here, doing crazy experiments. In fact, I haven't mentioned this because it's not that important, but for FNAF 4 stuff, he actually like kidnapped kids with the remnant experiments, and he used the gas to basically create a bunch of like test versions of FNAF 4. And there's one of the books where a kid wakes up thinking he's still a kid and all this stuff and like the repeated nightmare, and then he wakes up and he's in an adult's body and he's in this like chamber and he walks out and he's super scared and he wants to live and all this stuff, and the robot basically the automatic robot convinces him to stay behind because he has nothing left. He is literally like grown up in a nightmare, so he has nothing left to live for. So he just turns the gas back on and he goes back into the experiment, which is a really fucking sad book. There's a lot of really sad books in FNAF that might technically be canon.
Crazy work though.
There's a lot of shit. There's like as I said, time traveling ball pits. That is a real thing. Into the Pit is actually a game now. It used to only be a book, but Into the Pit turned into not only one of those interactive novels like the week before, but it also turned into it also ended up becoming a what's it called? A 3D and 3, literally the wrong thing. 2D 8-bit like video game, which is really cool. and the sprite work is really good on that game, dude. It's really good on that game.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, I might have to play it one time on stream.
I played it. Definitely worth it.
Yeah, I've heard it has like the craziest jump scares in the whole series.
Yeah,
Which
just by
which
being
hope
picked, yeah, like really.
hopefully this
Yeah.
this is really
the
good.
pixel work is crazy on.
Hopefully this game's got some sick ass jump scares.
Yeah, dude, it's just like
definitely.
I'm not even getting tired of walking around here. It's the first time in the whole series that we've been outside. Like, this is so. Can I just walk around the forest? Like, I know I wouldn't want to collect collect my 8 pronouns. Collect my 8 pronouns. But like, this is so silly.
Like an hour and a half.
Shush. Let me explain my FNAF lore. I'm trying to explain this shit to you. 10 years of information being regurgitated into your mouth like a goddamn baby bird. You better fucking appreciate this shit. Okay. Your girl is being very nice to you and providing you this shit. Because you know damn well, like, if you didn't have me, you would have had to listen to 10 hours of shit.
So many video essays.
No, dude. There is a video essay called a short introduction into FNAF, and it's 10 hours long. No, I'm not joking.
Oh my god.
I'm not joking.
That's the kind of video. That's the kind of video
Michael,
I put on to go to
you
bed.
can send him a screenshot of the timestamp. It's 10 hours, or however. It's like 9 or 10 hours of.
If you could just find it.
Fine, I'll look it up. I have to do fucking everything in this bitch.
No, Tristan. I mean Tristan.
No, the women always have to do shit in the world. I can't do this shit anymore.
I literally. You don't have.
A short introduction. Introduction into FNAF. Here, I already got it. Don't worry. Okay, it's not 10 hours, it's 8 hours, but that's still a lot to be a short introduction into FNAF.
Here's the shortest introduction in FNAF you physically can get while getting all the details. Oh my god.
Oh no, not while getting all the details. No, not
We're
while
getting
all
most of the details.
I don't even know. But yeah, if you look at 𝕂𝒧𝒏𝒏, it says a short introduction into Five Nights at Freddy's. That shit is 8 hours, almost 9.
Oh my god.
Bro,
yeah.
I'll watch MatPat. I won't watch 8 hours of that.
MatPat had a conclusive timeline before he left because he was literally the FNAF guy.
Yeah, he had
and it wasn't too long.
It's not 8 hours.
And it's not 8 hours, and it wasn't too off, and it's pretty much what I'm explaining right now, with some caveats of you know, after he left. Also, FNAF, as in the creator named FNAF, not FNAF, also started making a timeline and stuff, and it was a pretty high quality good one. But again, everyone has their own interpretations and things and blah blah blah. If you watch MatPat's, it'll be different from watching FNAF's, etc., etc. There's differences, but like the plot points are pretty the same. But anyway, so since Michael got scooped and they want to use him in the skin suit, they have basically like there's a cutscene of him walking down the street and he seems fine until his skin gets more purple and degraded and rotten over time, rotting away. And it's funny because in the shadows, William Afton was called the purple guy because in all the shades he's purple and he wore purple suits and he had a purple car, so he was called the purple guy as a nickname, right? And Michael obviously hates his father now and doesn't want to be anything like him, and he literally is rotting. His skin is rotting, and he's turning into an actual purple guy. So that's fucking insane. And yeah, so he is basically turned into very, very rotten looking Purple Hulk, just some pants on. He's fucking dead on the floor. And he's got
Grimace.
And he's turned to Grimace. He's got robot spaghetti all up in his guts, paws, and all that. And then he he falls down, and Ennard realizing this is obviously not convincing anymore. They all rush into the sewers and leave him in there. But see how it was a remnant extractor, the scooper. Remnant stuck onto Michael, and if Remnant can make William immortal, it can make Michael immortal because it's a life energy. So Michael, despite being a rotting corpse with no organs left, his eyes light back up and he gets back up and you hear Baby continuously saying, "You won't die, you won't die, you won't die, you won't die."
But you wish you could.
But you sure wish you could. You won't die, but you sure wish you could, right? Because he's literally a rotting
Maybe gets
corpse.
kicked out of Ennard.
Oh yeah, so remember when I mentioned the whole like plot point in the source code? Yeah, so there's a plot point where basically we don't exactly know why. We don't know if it's because of Ballora maybe being the mom's soul, or them all being molten MCI and being like the very confused and angry spirits of all the MCI. Probably maybe they're all the MCI. So basically the kids are like, man, fuck you, Elizabeth, you bossy as fuck. And they kick her out. And so Funtime Freddy instead has a mask and like leans in on that. So Molten Freddy is Funtime's Freddy's masks, but all fucked up, and he's a pile of wires. And Baby has to reconstruct herself, and that's what Scrat Baby is. She basically like runs around like alleyways and just constructs herself out of parts and shit. And the scooper that killed her in the first place is like her right hand. It's insane. It's a pretty cool design. I don't know if I'm a
Yeah,
big,
It's like a claw, sort of.
yeah, I don't know if I don't know if I'm a big fan of how her hair looks. It looks a little weird, but I like the rest of her design. It's a pretty cool design.
Yeah.
But we're actually leading up to the ending of the original era, Afton era, if you can even call it that. I mean, again, this is the first game in the timeline. I feel like people were so quick to go like, there are 2 eras now, because there are people that wanted to keep it separate because people didn't like what Steelwool were doing originally. I feel like Steelwool has definitely gotten back on track and stuff, and I feel like a lot of people immediately blamed Scott as if he wasn't the one also writing the fucking game. And it was literally just a
Yeah,
bigger
honestly,
budget.
Steelwool-
It was more change. Yeah.
Steelwool remake Security Breach for the life.
I don't know if they
Fix
will, especially considering the original vision was so different, and then Scott didn't tell them what they were supposed to be doing. And I feel like
a lot of cut content.
I feel like it's a thing where like
So much cut
it's a
content.
yeah, it's a thing where like, you know how I don't know, it's like how Sonic is embracing nowadays like their shitty games and Sonic Forces and Sonic 06 into the lore and trying to make it explain it and basically owning up to their actions instead of pretending like they don't exist. And honestly, I respect them for like doubling down and doing FNAF Security Breach Ruin, doing all this other stuff and tying it all to Security Breach, and basically like rising up Security Breach as a game outside of that. And
Ruin was a good start to at least try to fix things.
and I'm pretty sure this is it. This is like it. It's funny. I'm like rambling about FNAF, which, you know, it's a weird experience because it's like being like, oh yes, I can't wait for the new FNAF, and then I just look up and I can like I'm just like pacing around and I'm just like, it's right there. I could walk in. I could walk into the
start
new,
right now.
I could walk into
but
the
let's
new
explain the
FNAF
lore.
game right now. But no, I gotta explain the lore. This is the crux of FNAF. This is why it's important. This is why it's famous. I gotta explain this to you. And also because when the fuck do I ever get to explain FNAF lore to anybody? Fuck yeah. And on stream, Jigsaw, I'm goated. This is hell yeah. This went
I
from
will say, can we pause for a second? Because I have to go to the bathroom.
that
I've been
shit's never
chugging
getting done.
waters all
That
day.
shit's never getting done.
Yeah, honestly, I might go soon.
Okay.
I'll be right back
But
though.
this isn't really. This isn't real. thanks for like overloading my brain with like FNAF shit.
Hell yeah. You said you were gonna leave?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. You don't need to get caught up,
but,
do you?
No, trust me, I knew enough, but now I just know even more than I already than I remember probably.
What do you not know? I can literally, like, since he's not here, I can just say it. Like, do you not know of Help Wanted and shit?
No, I did. I played Help Wanted.
Uh,
and I know Sword. I know a lot of
Security Breach.
most
Do you
of
know
them.
about FNAF 6 and shit?
Yeah.
Room Wolf 12, 1 and 1280 or whatever the fuck. I don't know if that's canon, but you know.
That 1280.
There was a book that it's like, you know how Afton is in hell in UCN being tortured by Cassidy.
Oh, yeah, I did
the
hear
room
about that, I
woman
did hear about
1280
that.
is basically him being like his burnt body is like in the hospital and it blows up and goes into all his like agony goes into a bunch of different areas. We don't know if that's canon. It probably might not. Maybe might be. We don't know about that. But yeah. I mean, that's kind of it for now. You know about Ruin. You know about stuff with Ruin.
Yeah.
If you don't know what happens next with all that stuff, is literally just Michael goes and gets all the jobs at all the different pizzerias afterwards because he's trying to
Yeah,
you know
and then he
get
just fucking destroys it or whatever.
yeah, and then FNAF 3 and then the crying child has his happiest day and all that stuff happens. And then FNAF 6 and then Henry and Michael burn everything down and that's when literally everyone dies and that's like the end of Afton era and then Mimic era is Help Wanted to Ruin. Technically this game also.
Yeah, Mimic era shit, yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of know most of it, really.
Okay. Well,
I don't know about that.
good luck on your
And
endeavors.
if anything, you tell me tomorrow or whatever,
Definitely.
you know?
I can. I'll sprinkle some in there. The Mimic's chasing you. Okay, but what I want you to know is the 𝕁𝕆𝕆𝕆𝕆𝕆𝕆.
Markiplier.
And then Markiplier shows up, and he was actually in an ad for FNAF AR. You didn't fucking know that was crazy. Why was he there?
You know that was crazy. Yeah, I saw that one.
Why was he there? Did you know that? Did you know that they like after MatPat's retirement, Scott Cawthon just told bro everything?
Yes, I.
Like,
we have a lot to discuss.
he can't make any more theories on the game because he knows too much now. Anything he says will be gold. The only way he can make a theory about it is if he just like if it's a brand new game like this one and he just like says, "Oh, Scott didn't tell me anything about this." Scott didn't tell me anything about Mimic Era. I only know about Afton Era.
Bro told him the secrets of the universe type
He
shit.
told him about the secret of the Mimic. He knows. I have to call up MatPat right now. He knows. MatPat! MatPat! What is the Mimic secret? Tell me.
The secret of the Mimic and my life is yours.
Tell me the secret of the Mimic. I thought there was going to be something cool in the sewer thing, and it's not. But no! But yeah, anyway.
Alright, I'll see you guys later.
See you tomorrow, man.
Ah, the Mimic!
The Mimic. Wait, but before you leave, when do you think you'll be free? Because I'm literally just gonna wake up and start streaming this shit. If you want to see it.
Just like ping me whenever. It's fine.
All right.
Alright,
Well, see ya. Bye, Michael Afton.
guys, I have to tell you, Markiplier.
No, that motherfucker.
I came back right as you left.
No. Michael Afton dies, which is funny because in this part of the story he did actually just die. Hello?
Oh, he's back.
And he's back just like in the story. Hello?
Fuck you.
Oh,
And he dies again. Okay, this is very wow, he was, he's spot on.
or accurate.
Wow, lore accurate. And best way I can explain it is that now that, he can't die and stuff, he's obviously really upset with William. And I could show, if you want, I can send you Michael's speech, because the speeches in these games are actually insane.
Yeah, go for it. I'll listen to the speech after I get off the stream, though.
Okay, I'll send them to you. By the way, PJ Haywood is the one who voices both of them, both William and Michael, and like there are videos like dissecting every little minuscule of that of like those of their voice lines and their like anything, because like this is the only time we get to hear Michael in a speaking role. This is the only time. So yeah, but to summarize his rant is basically, I found Elizabeth, I put her back together like you said I could have, blah blah blah, and now now she's kind of not really like put back together, she's all good. And they thought I was you, and then he like kind of laughs to himself and he's like, they thought I was you. But now I only have one thing left to do. I'm gonna come find your ass. I'm finna come kill you. I'ma kill your ass. Like he's like, yeah, no, I only have one thing left to do. I'm coming to get your bitch ass, ho.
I'm gonna
Run the ones, father. Get up, dad. What the fuck? What the fuck? Right?
What the fuck?
So yeah, he's like, I'm finna find your ass, dad, and that's what happens in all of these video games. Basically, Michael is working the night shift for a week, trying to find his dad and trying to get his fucking his vengeance. So, he's off trying to find his dad, and he goes through a bunch of different locations, abandoned ones like FNAF 1, and everything. And he keeps tampering with the animatronics. You know, he gets fired for odor and shit. That's what the pink slip is. Which he gets fired for odor because he's a fucking dead corpse. You know. And he tampering with the animatronics. He's trying to save the souls. Because not only, because remember when I said that he was like also so willing to help Elizabeth. Not only is he trying to stop William, but he's trying to. You know, he's trying to amend for his sins of the past, you know? He killed his brother by accident as a kid. He's trying to amend the souls of the past. He's trying to help, you know what I mean? He's trying to help the kids. And
Yeah,
trying to
he's
put
gotta
his,
like make it up somehow.
yeah, he has to make it, he has to make that up. And he's doing it by stopping his father's crimes and trying to help the souls. So he you know, stops, you know, stuff at FNAF 1, blah blah blah, right? And then FNAF 3 rolls around. Basically, he goes through basically all of the FNAF games here. Like, pretty much all the FNAF games. All the, like, pretty generic FNAF games he goes through. But then FNAF 3, which is Fazbear's Frights. And basically, Fazbear's Frights is basically a horror attraction, like a Halloween Horror Nights Universal type shit, where it's literally a pretend mock-up of the horror stories of FNAF. Basically, FNAF outside of all this lore to the people is like boogie stories, like little boogeyman stories, right? Like, oh, you know, kids got killed and stuffed into the suits, right? Like when Cece was still alive and like all the stuff with the with like like it was his birthday. You can hear some of the kids go like, ooh, I hear that they take you at night, and so like I hear that they stuff you in a suit and they never let you go, and that they kill you and blah blah blah. And it's like, how do these fucking kids know this shit? They're rumors, right, of the FNAF stuff. So they basically get a bunch of FNAF old memorabilia and they turn it into a haunted house. That's what FNAF 3 is, and that's why it looks so like destroyed and shit and all that stuff. And that's actually where we meet Phone Dude. We don't know if he's related to Phone Guy or Ralph or whatever the fuck. But the reason we call him Phone Dude is because he has a dude accent on him. Because at this point in the time, Scott Cawthon was the only one voice acting shit. So he sounded like Phone Guy, but he was just doing a voice like a little like, "Hey dude, it's me," right? And he's like, "Yo,
Radical.
dude, radical. Listen, dude, we found one, a real one." And basically, they're so ignorant to anything happening here, but they're like, "Oh my god, we found one in the back room, dude," right? They found William in the back room and thought bro was a real life animatronic prop, and they put him in the goddamn they put him in the haunted house, and just for the fuck of it, because they didn't know. And they're like, how come they're letting Michael take all these jobs? He looks like a rotting corpse. First off, people
Literally, no.
What?
Literally, no, he is a rotting corpse.
Yeah, he's a rotting corpse. People theorize that maybe he he started like growing his organs back, or like he started looking more human because of the remnant slowly like healing him. We don't know if the remnant slowly heals him or if it's just keeping him alive. But either way, it could also just be that they apparently security guards don't really get security checks like that, and also this is a very shady company that will let anybody do anything, and they are literally waiting. They assume you're gonna die, so they're gonna give a shit how you look. You're just more cannon fodder, basically. So yeah, so they're fine with bro dying. So they were just like, yeah, dog, we're just gonna. Also, can I Can I use my Phaz wrench on that? Is that what that was? Honestly, I don't think I would have noticed that. Do you think people were walking around here the whole time? Like I was, but not explain the FNAF one. They were just like, where do I go? Because I think if you go over here, it says it's closed. And I'm like, what do I do here? Oh wait.
The MCM facility is temporarily closed. For all deliveries and work inquiries, the client
Maybe that was the
deliveries
first
entrance is located around the side of the building.
Okay, yeah, the side of the building. So by the way, that was Edwin.
The MCM facility is temporarily closed.
That's cool.
For all deliveries and work inquiries, the client and deliveries entrance is located.
This must be the factory and stuff from the book. That's cool. I just realized that, and now we got a van. Ooh, hard memories. Maybe the walk bro died here. Anyway, to get back to FNAF lore, so yeah, they just let bro in, and specifically in FNAF 3, they thought bro was just like, bro had a costume on, bro was on theme, right? So they just let him in, and he's been trying to find his dad this whole time, and this is the craziest fucking family reunion ever, you know. Welcome back, Dad. Where he's just like in this office chair trying to like lure his dad away with the sound of kids. Which, by the way, that's how he gets lured away in Dead by Daylight, is the sound of laughing kids. So yeah, listen.
His like murderous, his child murder.
His child murderous tendencies pull up. Honestly, if we didn't have the context of him being a child murderer, I would say he's a pedophile. Like I would assume.
On God.
Because, like, what do you mean, like, you're just like, oh, boy, children laughing. I need to go this way. Like, buddy, are you good?
Hey, excuse me, damn. What the hell?
Are you good, buddy? But, yeah. Anyway, also, wait. That Mario person 28. Well, since no one's in channel, say this. My name is Edwin. I made the mimic. It was difficult to put the pieces together, but unfortunately something went so wrong. Now I can't do anything but sing the super sound. My name is Edwin. Thank you, Mario person 28. Thank you. You honestly, that is a hallmark. That is a thing that every person streaming this game needs someone to say. Some Jackie's Box reference needed to happen, and I'm happy it was you, man. I'm happy it was you, man. Thank you. Now I can fulfill my duty. Honestly, now all things are off the ropes tomorrow, because like dude, I've already got my Jackie's Boff reference, and like I already got everything. I already got the FNAF word down. Like we prepped anyway.
You went check on that checklist.
I'm done. But anyway, we're almost at the done of Afternoon FNAF lore. Basically he's like, damn dad, you ugly as fuck, man, fuck you, Michael, right? And yeah, so I don't know if I've been mentioning this. I haven't actually. I don't think so. Is that it's debated if whether this is true or not, but not only has you may wonder like, oh, like how to get rid of Remnant, how does Michael like plan on doing all this, right? And back in Sister Location, in the blueprints, and in Henry's blueprints, it says that Remnant is weak to fire, and it could, with enough exposure to fire, could be like completely taken out.
Like melted away?
Yeah, like just like taken like by the fire, I guess. Yeah, just like taken out. Damn, you're right. Let me drink some water. Sometimes you talk for so long and it hurts. Like,
I personally cannot say I ever have. I'm not the biggest talker.
I don't usually.
That's usually.
But honestly, I think streaming has gotten that to me. I think the first time it happened was during the Deltarune stuff, and I was actively voice acting for several hours, and like I was like, I remember one time I didn't lose my voice, but like my voice started sounding hoarse. And I was like, dude, I thought this was something just in the movie. Like, I thought this was something in fiction. I didn't know. I didn't know
I've been
that could happen.
I've been spared my throat when playing Deltarune because I have Rox and Michael voice acting with me.
That's cool.
And holy crap, Rox voices so many people because we're like, oh, why don't you voice this one? Why don't you voice this one? Why don't you voice this one? And I'm sitting there like, I'm voicing 𝓂𝒂𝒃, and that's it.
I voiced the main guy. I voiced 𝓂𝒂𝒃. I voiced Susie. I voiced well, I can't say the other ones because that's new content, but I voiced a majority. And when Laz was there, he voiced who he could. And honestly, I didn't mind voicing. I thought that was cool. But yeah, no, Laz voiced a couple characters, and I think he did a good job. He even voiced 𝒸𝓵 when we went back to go fight, went to go fight him or whatever. When we had to go back to chapter 2. We had to go fight 𝒸𝓵 again to go get something for chapter 3, and he voiced him, and that was pretty cool. But I literally I actually streamed for so long it cut my streaming, and so me getting the tool to get to the secret boss, like those 6 to 5 hours were just gone, and I'll never get over that. I'll keep mentioning that in stream so people know that happened. I'm still upset about that. I'm still
Dude,
pissed
I
about
remember you
that.
talking about that 16, what was it, 16-hour stream or something?
Yeah, it was a 16-hour stream, and they took away my 5. That took away like 5 to 6 hours of that. What the hell? I was streaming that, dude. You were gonna say something? You were gonna mention that? You were gonna say that I could only stream for that amount of time? I'm sure there's like a you start up a stream and it's like in like small text. It's like, by the way, you can only stream for this amount. Also, what is this?
At least
what is
maybe saved only that amount.
Wait, but then what about over there? I thought that was the entrance. What? I'm confused because I looked over on the other side and it was like, oh, it's on the side of the building, but then over here it's like, oh, you can click the mail thing. And I was like, wait, so we can go to the mansion? Where's Costume Manor?
I mean, can you really change what the tool is using though?
Wait. Mail. Can I get mail? Do I get mail? Mail.
No mail.
Mail. No mail. Okay, so no mail. Okay, so I guess it really was going over there. Okay, so I was wrong both times. Maybe I really did need to wander around. But
You just get an achievement like sat in the parking lot for an hour and a half.
Dude, no, but like a lot of achievements like that do start up at the start of the game. So honestly, it'd be funny. Like imagine if there was a prompt to stop driving to continue, and you just kept driving, and there's an achievement that's like your bitch ass stayed in the car that whole time. Damn, you didn't even eat your fucking fries. Didn't even eat your fucking fries. Damn. Anyway. To continue the lore, this is again, yeah, so I don't know if I mentioned this, Michael has been burning down the places each time he goes. We don't know if that's completely true, but yeah, it can be surmised that every time he goes to work at a place, he burns that fucker down, basically so that any remnant, any like souls, anybody like there gets released, right? Their souls gets released, right?
Serial arsonist with a good intention.
With good intentions. Yeah, I mean he's arson. The only reason he's doing arson is simply because that's how to free the spirits. So I mean I don't blame him. Honestly, that's what I mean when I meant like Michael is so much more of a broken sympathetic character than he is like you know what I mean, like people like to, I don't know, there are people that like to be like, Michael was fucking evil and he killed his brother, and it's like, yeah, when he was like a little kid he didn't know anything, and he spends his entire life trying to make up for it, and he's so broken and he's trying so hard to be better, and he like dies and comes back and all this shit, right? And he literally goes through hell and all this crazy shit for what, you know what I mean? Like but I like moving the thing. I'm a Disney.
What about this wobbly bit?
Do you think there's an achievement for this, dude? Yeah.
The wobbler.
Why does bro's hand look like that? By the way, there's a bunch of stuff about like needing a hand and stuff, and like I was planning on doing a theory board, which I still might do considering I literally have tomorrow morning, of like theories, and people were theorizing that the main character will get their hand taken off. That their main character will like get their hand ripped off. You know, there's also one for Chris where they're like, Chris's hand will also get ripped off. I don't know where these are coming from. Why? And then Mason
Why does
on stream,
nobody
her
get their
hand
hands?
rips off. No, I don't. I want that. I want to keep that. No.
You know this character from from a completely disconnected franchise? Their hand comes off too for the same reason.
Yeah,
Huh?
and then Sonic's hand, like when he gets a corruption in Frontiers, his hand just fucking comes off. What? Yeah, and you know, Tristan building that deck over there, he builds his deck so hard, so many paper cuts off his arm. What? But honestly, I can kind of see this here because like, there's a lot of imagery of like, need a hand. Please don't put your hand in that machine, etc., etc. Like a bunch of like, don't put your hands in these machines or it'll come off. And look at how
And
bro,
it's like the way you have to control the hand too could be
yeah,
like
look at bro.
fuck up something. You
No,
fuck up
look-
something and your hand comes off.
Look at bro. Look at bro.
Oh, so Solar's in the chat. Did you find the secret? No, we've been sitting in the park and they're talking about lore for the entire time.
basically, I surmised that that since you know Rox wasn't here and that Laz will be here tomorrow and blah blah blah, etc. etc. I've decided to do it tomorrow, which sucks because I've been waiting for days and almost a week now to play this fucking game and I haven't gotten to. But honestly, I think it'll be worth the wait. I think it'll be great. It honestly looks amazing out here, and this is the first time in FNAF that you can be outside, and it's just like really cool. Like, is that a mountain down there? I want to see it. I'm so excited. And FNAF open world. Are you serious? Yeah. So I've literally just been sitting here for the past hour and a half explaining the FNAF lore to Tristan. He said he didn't know it.
Hour and a half. It's been 2 hours.
We're almost done though. FNAF lore is long. It's like a decade of shit to cram into one thing. This game is really cool. I know,
It is
right?
a lot of work.
It looks
pushing
so
it.
cool. It looks so cool.
It looks just the parking lot looks so stunning.
I know, right?
And
Like
just, like,
I've
how
just
it's-
been walking around it. It's I'm gonna crash out. And also, this was $40. This wasn't even like a $60 payment. Like this was $40. I love
You got the
Ykөt.
steel.
Hell yeah, and Deltarune is $25 for all chapters of Peak. Guys,
Is that also future chapters?
yes, all future chapters, everything, and
Hell
chapters 1 and 2 are free. You pay for chapters 3 and 4 now. All the other chapters are free. Everything is free. This is the only time Toby Fox is getting paid. He is literally, you are scamming his ass. Like, indie creators are so awesome. Dude. Honestly, I don't like when people say that like gaming is dead, because gaming isn't dead. I think AAA gaming is, you know.
Some AAA games are
But
awful.
indie games haven't ever been stronger. Silk Song's about to come out. Like, dog, shit is good for us right now. But yeah, no, the playsticks is really cool, and this game looks really cool, and I'm super excited. And honestly, I saw a tier list on TikTok earlier, and it was like Secret of the Mimic 1. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. And I was like, oh, good list, dude. I put in the comments, and all the comments are like, ew, new gen. I can smell the new gen from here. Yeah, never list again, bro. Never rank again, bro. Oh my god, please.
It's just someone's opinion, and this game looks stunning anyways.
It
like,
looks
come
beautiful.
on.
Dude, this looks better than any FNAF games ever existed. Listen, I love all the FNAF games, and they have a big place in my heart, and blah, blah, blah. And they were made by one dude, the same way that Toby made that one, made Undertale basically by himself, besides, like, 10 with art. You know? And it's insane that all this is being made, and that he pumped out games so fast, and that they were so revolutionary, and that he's kept up this, like, weird mystery for so long, and blah, blah, blah. And he really does care about his fans, and all that stuff, even if he isn't the best at times. And him being able to do all this and work with Steelwool and them being able to come back and make such an amazing game, like, I am already saying this shit is peak, and all I have are teasers that I looked at for a bunch of time, and like, you know, I even planned on doing streams for the teasers and everything, but I was like, nah, they're too short, and everything, and now it's just out, and it's just like, it's weird because I'm just like, oh man, FNAF is so cool. I wish I could see more, you know. We don't have all the answers, you know. One day, and I can just look up and be like, you know what? I can just like, Can I walk in? Let me in. Let me in.
No man.
Edwin. 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 Edwin.
museum facility is
Edwin.
closed.
Edwin.
Deliveries and working queries.
Please, bro. Please, bro. I won't.
Open the
Please,
door.
Bro, open the door, bro. Come on, bro. Bro, please, bro. Bro, please. Anyway.
Gaming is, motherfucker, when you ask them to stop buying
Triple A
triple
flop.
a slot.
Yeah, no, I bought.
Gaming is.
I bought everybody Undertale. You want to know how much Undertale was costing at the time?
Like $10, right?
$1.
It's $1 at the time. Damn.
99 fucking cents. Toby Fox gave you literal peak gaming, revolutionary peak gaming that
Dude,
changed the gaming industry for $1. He basically gives it to you for free. Yeah, I hate when I say that you're basically stealing from Toby, and I hate when I say I'm basically stealing from Toby, and people go like, oh, what are you talking about? No, you know, $25 is too much. Huh? For a
$25 too much for like.
Anyway,
how many hours of content is
time to buy
elsewhere either?
$100 Mario Kart. Time to buy.
Let me buy
$100
Mario Kart. It was the same as the last Mario Kart, except you can drive up a wall now, and it costs $20
No,
more.
it's just driving around, but not like drive around the world. Not. I don't think it's driving up a wall. I mean, I guess you technically can do like drive rolls. Honestly, I'm not saying the game doesn't look good. I think Mario Kart World does look good. It doesn't look that much money good, but it looks good. Like I would play it. It looks fun, but it doesn't look. You know, Michael. I bought it for $3 when Delta came out. Is this Michael Afton or? I thought you were asleep. I thought you died.
Is this Michael who is with
Michael
us just a second
Afton?
ago?
I mean, he died in the lore. Speaking of the lore. So, by the way, speaking of the lore, in FNAF 3, all these like ghosts like come to like stop you, but the only real animatronic is William, is Springtrap, and Michael, like, you know, they have their fight, they beat the shit out of each other, blah blah blah, and also it's debated on when this is happening, but I'll just put it here: is Cassidy isn't all bad. I know a lot of people like to villainize Cassidy. Cassidy's a fucking child who's obviously trying to get vengeance on William. And also, since Crying Child is lost like all the other children, and, you know, they're kind of friends because, you know, they're trapped in the same body or whatever, right? Cassidy basically asks Michael, since, you know, bro was kind of the reason Cece is dead, kind of, you know, not really, but, you know, kind of dead. And is like, yo, can you help your brother, like, remember who he is? Because in FNAF, basically, when you're dead, you don't remember that you're dead. Like, you have to find your body. Like, there is, you know, Susie, Chica? There is one of the books is about her trying to live her life normally, and her, like, wondering why after, like, a certain, like, point her mom, like, got super sad and her dad left, and, like, her sister won't talk to her and all this stuff, and her sister's favorite over her, and, like, no one talks to her, and it's revealed at the end that she's dead, and Chica, like, comes up to her and holds her hand, and she's like, I don't want to go back, I don't want to, like, lose all my memory and become Rabbit again, like with the remnant, you know, like, I don't want to go back, you know, because she's just a kid, and that's so sad. But yeah, she basically, like, remembering that you're dead and all that stuff. So them being very confused, only knowing, like, oh, adults are bad, blah blah blah, not even, like, completely knowing that they're dead. Also, I forgot to mention, you know how William was like, oh, you know, oh, Susie, don't worry, your dog is back here. Yeah, no, you know the cupcake, you know, like, fucking bear trap evil ass cupcake, that might be her fucking dog.
Yeah,
that's probably her fucking dog. Why do you think it fucking barks? Why do you think the cupcake barks? It's her dog. That's her fucking dog.
I actually did not know it barked.
And well, I mean, it kind of does, like, in the movie and shit. Like, it and, like, starts, like, biting people like a goddamn chihuahua. Yeah, no, dude. Like, it's and like, even in a Dead by Daylight, the cupcake is gone, and then if you check the lockers, it'll, like, try to grab at you and bite you. It's fucking insane. Fucking ass evil ass cupcake. It's a bear trap in a cupcake. But yeah, it's literally like it's a dog. It's crazy. Stop telling everyone I'm dead. Well, I mean, you kind of are, and I mean, you know, you can't die, but you sure wish you could. But anyway, the arcade games are something that are also tied to the spirits, and tied to the they're ghosts, tied to the buildings themselves. So the video games are a way to connect to the souls and like talk them through it, and that is what Happiest Day is. To basically explain Happiest Day is the 𝕿𝙻𝙰𝕃𝕷 crying child's birthday, but he needs to move on. He needs to realize he's dead, move on, have a happy memory, have friends, and move on and be a happy spirit. So Cassidy is like, yo, you gotta help up my friend, and you also kind of are the reason he's dead, so link up. So Michael has to play a bunch of games to basically set up Happiest Day, and in Evan's memory at the time, or Cece's memory, is FNAF World, and 𝕿𝙻𝑆 and everything is telling him like, oh, this is all a dream, or this is all like a fake. Go down this many levels, which 𝕿𝙻𝑆 might be Cassidy, basically telling him like, this is basically like your child way of interpreting your death, and like not trying to understand it. So that's why like you have all these fun FNAF friends and all this cute shit, and all this stuff, because when you go down, it's not fun and cute anymore. It's like trippy and shit, and there's a bunch of stuff, and yeah, and also there's like weird stuff. Henry might have there's a thing where it's like might have been Scott Cawthon, might have been Henry killed himself over baby. It was kind of like it was a weird. There's a bunch of different random shit in FNAF World, but basically the map looks like a brain, and it's basically like Cassidy like helping Cece like process his trauma, and trying to like lower him down and being like, calm down, bud, I thought it was Mangle that was the dog. No, Mangle is not the dog. Mangle is like Mangle has speaking roles. Mangle is like, oh, you're so jealous that you're not as pretty as me, and don't worry, we'll take you apart and put you back together. Mangle isn't super important. Basically, Mangle was like kind of a fun time for Foxy type beat, and the kids literally ripped bro apart. They ripped her apart. They ripped him apart, like over and over and
Which
over.
are like,
over.
Those are some super serum children,
Super
or Mango
serum
was just
kids,
put together really
dude.
bad.
Maybe, in a way, it's weird because like then like the employees just kind of like stopped putting them back together, and it's and yeah, so there's a Mangle, and they just come calling bro Mangle. So yeah, insane pull. But anyway, Toy Foxy B. Okay, sorry. Damn. I didn't know you knew that shit. I know I know it's not Funtime Foxy, but he looks a lot like Funtime Foxy. It's literally like a white and pink one. In fact, people thought that was like a unrepaired Funtime Foxy, and that it was that Sister Location was a prequel, and blah blah blah. And people still might think that it's a prequel. Who knows? But anyway, so yeah, Michael is like helping out with setting up Happiest Day. Charlie is getting all the souls to come to the party, and basically crying child wakes up. It's his happiest day, and it's a birthday party that looks just like his original one, except there's a bunch of kids with masks of all the different characters they possess, and all like cheering and like happy for him and eating cake. And he has cake on him, and he has the golden Freddy mask on, and Charlie is like, yo, happy birthday, blood, happy birthday, right? And they have a nice little moment where like they all come to peace, and all those original souls, their remnant, their happiness, they all, most of them, go to the afterlife. They all like, they're all nice there. Who's not though? Elizabeth, Afton, the OG missing kids, Cassidy, obviously, Charlotte, and Michael, right? And technically Henry and stuff like that, right? So those are the players that are still in there. But all the other souls and stuff, DCI, Andrew, Michael, all those different guys, they're all at peace now, and Michael sets the place ablaze, and with with Afton in it, by the way. But as he always says, he always comes back, and despite his suit being all fucked up now, Springtrap is still out there. William is still there, and Michael is like, I don't know what the fuck to do. I don't know how to get rid of bro. I'm fucking done, right? I can't die. He can't die. I'm sick of this shit, right? And guess who pulls back up? Guess who pulls back up for the finale? It's fucking Henry. Henry shows up, and he's like, I'm done with being depressed and shit. He's back. He's like, I'm done with being depressed and shit. I'm gonna end this. A wound first inflicted upon me with like Charlotte. And something I let bleed out because in a way, you know how like in a and I mentioned this earlier, but it's like how people will how people kind of treat Curly in mouthwashing, where they either are like he's totally innocent or he's like a total evil guy because he let what happened happen because he didn't stop Jimmy, and it's in the same vein where Henry didn't stop Afton, even though he kind of was on to what he was doing and kicked him out and everything, right? He didn't really he didn't stop him, right? And he kept killing kids. And sure, he tried to stop him with the toys and stuff, but then he got super depressed and left the story. You know what I mean? But this is now FNAF 6, and Michael and Henry dap the fuck up. They team up, and it's less like a team up, more like a you're here too? Okay. But basically, Henry is like, what I'm gonna do is, instead of what Michael's been doing, which is going to the pizzerias and burning everything down there, he's gonna lure all the remaining spirits into one pizzeria, into one box, into one chamber, and just burn it all down and smother it to smithereens and don't even let them escape, right? And so all the remnant can be burned, right? So that is also one of the most, if not the most, infamous and famous speech of one of the most famous speeches in gaming, and specifically the most famous speech of FNAF, which is Henry's speech at the end of FNAF 6, which I can send to you later. But it is a very impactful speech. And yeah, oh, hi Bandman. Wait, what the fuck, Bandman? Bandman. Hey,
Yeah, I think they
guys.
entered just now. I saw it appear and then when I interrupted you.
How did you get here, dude? Aw, man, I knew you'd show up. Hi, Bandman. Hi, man. Here, wait, let me get you in here. Hi, Bandman. Bandman is such an OG that his profile picture isn't cropped correctly. Here, wait. Bandman, I'm giving you a hat, man. Also, we gotta take Michael's hat. Wait, where's Michael's hat? Take Michael's hat.
Oh, he had two hats.
Oh, and so did why does Laz have a hat? Oh, not you. Where's Laz? Where's your hat at? Not you. Laz, stop. Where's your hat at? Okay, taking your hat too. Okay. Anyway.
You just steal rocks away.
Peak speech, by the way. I fucking love all the lines. Yeah, no, he did a great job. Even though there's not a lot of voice acting in FNAF, when it happens, it's peak, man. And which is so insane, because this is such a departure. We're outside, full models. I can just press a button and anyone will talk to me. When I say that Michael, the main character of all of the video games, has one speech at the end of Sister Location and doesn't talk once ever again, I fucking mean it. This is, I know this sounds like a lot. I know this sounds like so much to digest, but we literally had nothing. These are table scraps put together, little pieces put together after a decade of theorizing and piecing shit together. Okay?
You get a line here and there, and you have to piece up the story from.
You have to put all of them. You have to put it all together, which is also one of the reasons why FNAF 6's speech is so impactful, because it's one of the most. It's one of also one where we actually get some answers, because Henry actually talks here, and I'm not gonna spoil it all for you. You know, I mean, basically all he says is Elizabeth tries to be out here oh my God, William's so cool. It's obvious that he's the one who led us here, even though like William literally like talks like, oh yeah, I knew it was a trap, but I ain't no pussy. I'd go in. And basically all of them went in. Charlotte got encapsulated by Lefty, which is a modified kind of version of a Freddy model, but it's kind of it kind of, you know how like spring lock, like you're inside of the suit, it latched onto the puppet and basically like put it inside of the suit to stop it from leaving. So obviously Henry doesn't want his own daughter to leave, so she can be freed too, right? So Molten Freddy, which is also all the MCI guys put together, right? Golden Freddy's like a spirit thing, but it you know, broken beaster monsters are there. Afton is also there. And yeah, so pretty much everybody, all the story people are there. The person you play as is Michael, and the person that hired you is Henry. So everybody is there, all in one place, all put together in one box. The pieces put together, and he starts burning the place down. And he's like, Michael, I know it's you, dog. I know you probably like I know like if you're just some random ass guy, you'd probably want to leave. But knowing you probably like you want to end it here too. You know what I mean? And he says I will stay too. So Henry probably died. Michael died. All of the spirits were you know, released in that moment. The FNAF 6 fire is the most iconic fire in the whole series. And
they were finally released from their
everybody
like,
was
eternal.
finally released. And William Afton dies like the petty little bitch he is, and he finally does die, and he does not come back this time. He does not come back. He is dead for good this time. So yeah, everybody sacrifices, everybody dies here. And everybody gets their souls connected for free. Also, it makes sense that Michael would want to leave because the remnant in his body would also get burned away. So he can die here. And it makes sense. He has no real reason to live anymore. And he's a rotting corpse, you know, and everything. And
he is like...
And Henry's daughter is dead and everything else. Basically, this was like... In Henry's speech, he also mentions, like, now things can finally start to fade away, like every tragedy should. So literally everybody tied to the tragedy is fucking gone now. You know what I mean?
Like, everyone can finally rest in peace.
Everyone can finally rest in peace. So you may ask, why the fuck is there more FNAF? What's going on? You know? What about, isn't this the end of the Afton era? What's going on? Isn't this the end of the Aftons? And you're right, this is the end of the Aftons, but it's not the end of Freddy Fazbear's as a franchise. Now, this is like the very start of the entire timeline, so I can't explain much of that, but I can try. But that being the ending, you may ask, what happens next? What's going on next? Because Fazbear Inc. as a company is gone. So when Help Wanted comes out, it's called what is it? FNAF LLC. Fazbear's LLC. An LLC is like a local like company, right? And you may ask, what the fuck? Why are they back? I thought like it was all dissolved, you know? And we don't know who the CEO is. It was theorized that it might be Miss Afton and that she's still you know, she was never like mentioned, so she could have done that. There's a lot of different things, like the person you play as in Security Breach. Oh, bye Solar. See, this is like Mimic era stuff, so FNAF 6 is like the ending of like what the story we know of as right now. This is like new shit for Mimic era stuff. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So Mimic era is very like loose at the moment. But most we know right now is stuff about the Mimic. Mimic was at the very start of the whole thing. There was a fall fest before any of this FNAF stuff went on. You know, the very like glitch trappy, you know, very the felt suits. Remember the felt suits before the spring locks? The felt suits, you know, all that stuff, right? Murray's costume, Manor, Murray's, you know, this type of shit. And basically people theorized that Edwin Murray was the one who was basically getting, designing the robots from being from being felt suits to being actual robots. He didn't make Springlocks, but he did design the models of the robots. We don't know if that's true. That's just a theory at the moment. Just a theory. A FNAF theory. But
avoid the copyright.
avoid copyright. I'm sure he wouldn't. Not gonna lie, if Matt Pat struck me down with a copyright strike, I would honestly be honored. I would be. I know that sounds funny as fuck. Dude, if Matt Pat literally copyright struck me, I would have been like, it is my honor to simply be in your presence, good sir. Thank you.
You gotta get that shit printed out.
I will print that out. But yeah, so this stuff is a little weird. Basically all I can say about the Mimic is Edwin is a very busy guy. He doesn't have a wife, blah blah blah. He's at this factory. Dude, I'm talking about the Mimic story, and the factory's in front of me, right? This is the factory. And basically he is it's hard for Bo to work. By the way, this is all book stuff, so we don't actually know if this is technically canon. I know that Michael, or not Michael. Yeah, Michael. Wait, yeah, Michael. I'm getting confused if he's the real one or the game one. But Michael did mention that before you left or whatever, that they did like canonize the events of the book. So it's a good thing to mention this now, but not specifically if the book is canon. But basically, what you gotta know is Edwin and stuff was like, man, I got take care of my kid, blah blah blah. And just as irresponsible as Afton, he was like, my kid has no friends and blah blah blah. So instead of taking bro to school or taking bro to the park or taking bro to any place that he could possibly get friends, I'm too broke to take bro to the daycare. But I do have a bunch of machine parts around me. So he basically makes a robot that mimics what his son is doing to get the same like stuff that he wants and blah blah blah, right? And basically just mimics him. And that was the first ever version of the Mimic 1 program. And to kind of summarize, it mimics him. It keeps this tiger, like a tiger plushie, of like blue and green eyes, and makes one for him because they're too broke to get another one, and all this stuff. And David just likes his friend. It's pretty chill. They get ice cream type shit, all that stuff. And obviously like the Mimic doesn't understand and is like, because he's a robot, but he's trying his best. And obviously bro is not paying attention, and this is, dude, I can reenact it because I'm in the game, right? David's like, oh blah blah blah, I love my ball, I'm so silly, I'm a little child, huh? And bro gets run over by a fucking van, which is funny that Fazbear took us here in a van right in front of where this guy got killed. But yeah, no, bro, it's just like, oh my god, I'm a little baby, huh? Oh no, bro, and just it kills bro. There's a lot of weird gruesome deaths in FNAF, not specifically that, but I just mean like in the books and shit. There's like crazy gruesome deaths.
Benman asked a question, dude.
With Benman. Now Hako, I mean, this is in the most nicest ways possible. Are you gonna just sit outside the Funny Factory and talk all day? Well, you see, Benman. Love you, Benman. Hashtag OG Benman. Love you, Benman. Kind of. I'm about to wrap up the lore. For an hour or two now, I've been explaining all of the FNAF lore to this guy because he doesn't know anything about FNAF. And I was trying, and as you know, I've been making posts and doing stuff, and because of Father's Day and prep and all that stuff, and trying to get Laz in a time where he can also be here like he was for the FNAF streams and all that stuff. I've been trying really hard to get this all worked up. I mean, look at the overlay and the everything, right? So I've been trying a lot to get this stream and stuff looking good for a day or two now, and obviously since this is back to back with Deltarune streams, it was kind of hard to do all that. So these streams were kind of delayed for a couple days, a couple like 4 to 3 days, and I was trying really hard to get them out, and I tried to do it this time, and my computer needed to update, so I was having technical difficulties. And yeah, it just wasn't working out. So I have just kind of been sitting here explaining the lore to Tristan, and in the morning, bright and early, I will be waking up and streaming all as much as I can. Laz says that he'll be able to show up later in the day. Hopefully some other guys will be able to show up around the day. But tomorrow will be like FNAF security, you know, I was going to say security breach. Secret of the Mimic Day, very much Secret of the Mimic Day. Don't worry, it is happening tomorrow. I just didn't want to do literally nothing today. And I think it's a good time to spend. Also, this is a beautiful area. Like, this is the first time we ever get to see.
It truly has.
Yeah, this is a.
I mean, it truly is a beautiful area. Also, I will probably tune in if the stream is going on when I do wake up, because I wake up like the afternoon and shit.
Mhm.
I will like tune in on my daily walk.
Sure. But anyway. So, wait. Mimic tomorrow, lore stream now. Exactly. I see. Normal explanation of FNAF 4. Okay. It's a beautiful area because you can touch grass. Can you? Wait. Oh my god.
The grass.
Even in the cement, I can. Oh, is there grass around here? Is this grass? Whoa! Holy shit!
You would know if you go outside.
This is my first time being outside. Honestly, it being artificial is more than enough for me. No, wait. It's right there! It's right there!
It escapes your reach. Tauntingly.
Ooh. Right next to my U2s and my plushie. AKA U2s hit me up. Hi, I want a plushie too. But yeah. So yeah. Game stream tomorrow, lore stream now. As much as I would love to play the entirety of it right now, I know that it's late at night. I know that no one will be here. And as much as I would love to, I also should get a quality sleep so I can have the best reactions and crazy ass shit for tomorrow. So yeah, and also there was a bunch of technical difficulties. Why do I keep saying technical difficulty?
You spent like an hour on this technical difficulty.
It was
right?
bad, man. It was really it was ending on me. Honestly, the FNAF lore dump is what got my spirits up. But we have already finished Afton Era. I'm basically just explaining what the Mimic is at the moment, and that's pretty much the end of the stream at the moment. But yeah, so yeah, David gets run over. Edwin is super mad, obviously, because his kid just fucking died. And the Mimic, mimicking David, asks for ice cream, and it has like the tiger plushie like fucked up in his hand, and is like, Dad, when can we go get ice cream? Dad, when can I play ball with David? Hey dad. Right, and he gets real pissed and he beats the ever-living shit out of the Mimic. And the Mimic learns agony. The Mimic learns and mimics that anger and that hostility. And later on, when we are sent down to go, like when research teams and stuff are went to go down to I think they took like 2 search teams of different people to come down to come get the Mimic. Which is like, how the fuck do you want me to get bro out of here? Like, what, is the Mimic gonna run out and I'm just gonna be like, don't worry Mimic, get in the car. don't worry Mimic, you got space.
Get in, don't ask questions.
Yeah, don't worry Mimic, we'll take you a nice place. Hop in Mimic, I got fucked up fries. Yo, what's that guy? Don't worry about him. He's from a diner or something. But yeah. Anyway, so yeah, the Mimic obviously learns violence and gets kicked out and stuff. And he didn't have legs at the time. But bro didn't have legs at the time. And Edwin fucking leaves and stuff. And after time, people like go to retrieve him, and they give him legs, and they go, "Oh, this is one of the Mimic programs. Okay, we'll be lazy as fuck." Mimic, rip off all the arms and legs, legs and heads of all of the animatronics, and put them in that pile, and it does it perfectly. And then it goes, "Hold on, gamers. Hey, is there any more bodies around here?" And it looks at
Any
them.
more humanoid-like things?
and it walks up and rips off their arms and legs and everything, and it kills their asses and stuffs them in the bodies too. See, the thing about the Mimic is the Mimic doesn't know what Bro's doing. It's just mimicking, right? And honestly, it's weird, but I love the Mimic as an interpretation and as a kind of like talk about AI. And it seems like Scott really does want to talk about AI and its like repercussions through the Mimic. And it seems like, you know, that's what the Mimic is, and what the new Mimic era is a bit of like commentary on AI, right? And yeah, so that's Mimic stuff. I keep thinking that shit's gonna run me over. So that's all you're gonna know about this. If you want to know anything past FNAF 6, basically the LLC stuff happens. Help Wanted happens. Help Wanted is a VR game that that Fazbear made to pretty much, you know how there was like a horror attraction and everything, and like, oh, it's just rumors. They basically pretended to cover up all of the murders with rumors, and basically made a FNAF VR horror game, quote unquote, replicating all of the original, you know, stuff, all the original bad stuff. And like they got a rogue indie developer, and he was making all these claims, which by the way is technically Scott Cawthon. It is literally a picture of Scott Cawthon, and he goes like, oh, the rogue indie developer that made all these games called Five Nights at Freddy's, and it's just Scott Cawthon. I know it technically isn't him, but it's literally an image of him. It's pretty much just self-insert. It's just funny as fuck. But yeah,
And the person who made this amazing
the person
game
who
series.
made these horrid depictions of us, and it's Scott Cawthon image, which we don't see a lot of him. So every time we see him, he looks completely different. It's funny as fuck. But anyway, are you gonna talk about Fazbear Frights? Yeah, no, the book series. I don't want to talk too much about Fazbear Frights in the book series because it's a dubious canon. Why can't I say words? Dubious. What?
Dubiously?
Dubiously. Fuck. Dubiously.
The late night hours are getting you.
It might be. The dubiously canon. They're very dubiously canon to the series, and the ones that kind of seem like they are, I've already explained. Like the gas experiments and blah 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 and all that stuff. So anyway,
And the discs and that.
and the discs and shit, yeah. So yeah, and technically the Mimic is one of the books. This is the canon version of what the Mimic story will be. We don't know. There are people saying that the books will be canon. This is honestly what will, like, because if this aligns with exactly the story from the book, then it might be canon. If it doesn't, then it isn't canon, right? So yeah. That's it. If you want to know like past 6, right? They're like horrible ass indie game developer fucking kill this guy. Turns out they hired Bro to do all that, and then pretended like he was the bad guy and did all this shit to cover up the murders, right? Basically, no one trusts Fazbear. They're trying to bring back up the brand, because they're greedy businessmen. We don't know who the CEO is right now. The greed sickens me. Pretty much Fazbear Entertainment entirely is about greed. So yeah, greed sickens me. They're very cheap. And yeah. And so a quote unquote tape girl and another guy named Jeremy. Tape girl is basically, they were like, okay, well, we need to test out this this tape or whatever and all that stuff, and to basically save on costs, Fazbear Entertainment takes pieces and basically just like takes circuit boards and stuff from the old animatronics from the Fazbear 6 fire that still have all that agony, because the remnant was taken away, not the agony. The agony is still in there, right? So the agony is still like inside of those like devices. So the people, the roles, the souls, they are dead, but the agony that was infused within them through their lives still exists, right? It's like Darkness and Deltarune, where they're like created by objects, but instead it's created via the emotion of fucking, I wanna kill myself, right?
Just the emotion.
The emotion. do we talk about Into the Pit? Into the Pit isn't technically canon. We don't know. I'm not gonna bring it up right now. I'm sure Justin wants to go to bed, so I'm trying to just quickly finish up that stuff. All you gotta know about Into the Pit is that there's a guy named Oswald. There's like a Jet's Pizza. Turns out there's a ball pit. Goes into the ball pit. It's actually Freddy's in the past. He meets the missing kids, but it's not really the missing kids, kind of. Then Spring Bonnie, but it's not really Afton, but like a weird monster thing, tries to get him or whatever and follow him through the ball pit while he's trying to save the kids. And he thinks it's all fine and he's back in the real world. But when his dad passes by, Spring Bonnie comes out of the ball pit and fucking steals his dad. And then for half of the book, his like everyone thinks his dad and Oswald are fine, but Oswald sees that Spring Bonnie has taken his place. And basically his like Spring Bonnie is driving bro to home. He's like he's driving him home from school. He's eating dinner with the family, and yeah. So the animatronic is just sitting there with him, right? And it's a whole thing, and blah blah blah. The missing kid stuff. We see missing kid stuff. We see the kids dead. Oswald, to kill the animatronic or whatever, he like strangles him through like the wires of the ball pit. It's a weird thing. I haven't talked or heard about Into the Pit in a little bit, especially considering I didn't play the game or the interactive novel, because there wasn't much lore, because again, Into the Pit is duplicity canon. But yeah, basically like nightmare ass like Spring Bonnie time travel ball pit shit. It's not super important that we know of at the moment, but yeah, that's Into the Pit. But to go back to where we were supposed to be, Tape Girl and Jeremy, right? They're basically like, oh, you know, VR game, and to save on costs, let's get the circuit boards from the Five Nights at Six Fire. And then it's like, okay, where are we gonna like put the new location for Freddy's, the new like crazy super pizzaplex, like holy radical dude, where are we gonna put this? And they were like, oh, let's just put in that property we already own, which is the FNAF 6 Fire property. So they just put the entire pizzeria on top of the FNAF 6 like pizza place Fire. So under the pizza, how is that even stable? Under this big ass building pizzeria, if you go underground, it's like the pizzeria sim like final, you know, entire building is in there, which is insane. And yeah, so they're just super greedy. Tape Girl is like, yo, at least we're like doing this VR thing. But then when they go to check the VR thing, something seems to be mimicking them, and they look over, and what's this? A yellow rabbit with a knife. A very similar yellow rabbit pulls up and tries to kill them in the digital world and everything like that. And Tape Girl. And it basically like a mind virus is like taking them over when they put on the headset, and Tape Girl basically tries to stop it, and leaves tapes, and since why she's Tape Girl, and leaves tapes to try to stop, to try to like give instructions on how to stop whoever this is, because Jeremy tried to stop him and had enough will to not get controlled by it, and literally cut his face off with a paper shredder slicer.
Yikes.
Yeah, when I say should be brutal sometimes. Again, FNAF isn't like a super brutal game, but like you know, then they do shit like that anyway. But it's not explicitly shown to you because, again, this is the first time we've been outside. This is like, you know, this is revolutionary for FNAF. We barely see any voice acting. This is like shown to us in like weird snippets and pieces. And I need you to understand that for a decade we've been piecing this shit together in a weird way. So like, it's all really mixed up, and that's why some things don't make sense, because we don't know the full puzzle. And I'm a little scared that Scott doesn't either. But you know, anyway,
Making it up as it goes.
pretty much. I'm pretty sure he's admitted to it. There's no way he didn't. Who the fuck thinks of Fazgoo and shit? By the way, Fazgoo isn't even technically Remnant. I've just been saying Fazgoo. Fazgoo is a different thing. It's in the books. I'm not explaining what Fazgoo is. It's a weird thing. I'm not gonna explain Fazgoo. It's like a fucking toxin shit. It's the same thing like a sea bonnies, or you know, sea anemones and like sea bears, and but they're like been genetically modified to look like Bonnie, and basically all those books are literally just like Goosebumps, and they just kill characters in horrific ways for no fucking reason, with random shit like Phasgu and sea bonnies for literally no reason. Like there was a kid that I think like in one of the books is supposed to mirror Michael, and he like he like, you know, jump scares his brother and shit, and he's like, I'm sorry brother, I won't do shit again, and then he goes to atone for his actions, and he gets run over, and then I think he like gets like pulled apart in like a bunch of robot shit, and it's like, well, literally, why? He apologized, he was trying to be better, why did you do this? There was no reason to do this.
Isn't it vaguely like Final Destination like?
Kind of, in those books, pretty much. It's really shit, but it's like weirdly gruesome. I don't know why. It's literally just Scott going, let me just pull a Goosebump story out of my ass and do whatever I want with it. Which is weird, which is like why they're weirdly dubiously canon, because it's more just like concepts that Scott makes up and then goes like, that's kind of not really kind of technically part of the lore. So yeah, it's weird. But the interactive books are probably canon. The interactive books are probably canon. Tales of the Pizzaplex interactive books are probably canon, because Week Before is definitely canon. And the new Pizzeria book or whatever is also canon, and so it's kind of obvious that the other ones are probably canon too. Which is weird, because does that mean Into the Pit is also canon? I don't fucking know. But to continue, to finish this all up, bro cuts his face off. Tape Girl's like, yo gamer, don't do this shit. But the thing is that the tapes are in different order, and after a while Tape Girl starts actually telling you different directions and starts saying that the entity is good, and it's very much obvious bro's been hijacked. Snow Bunny mind control, they took your ass.
Nobody mind
Snow Bunny
It's
mind
like
control.
you get so
Nobody
far
mind
into the
control.
tapes, and it goes from like never trust this entity.
Never trust
make
the
sure
evil
they never
British
get you
man
to.
entity. Don't.
That dude's
do-
a homie anyway.
Dude, homie, nobody mind control, nobody mind control. Guys, don't worry. The Vanny outfit might be white, but I am no snow bunny. I'm Hispanic. It's good, guys. No snow, all bunnies. Anyway. That was brought up earlier. I don't know if that's. I don't know if that sounds like I'm the one who said that first. I'm pretty sure Rox did, but I don't know if
It
that's
was
even,
a Rox quote.
That was a Rox quote, but I don't even know if it's there because, god damn it, we redid the stream like 15 fucking times because of technical difficulties.
God, I don't remember which recording it was.
I don't
know. I
either.
want to say it was the first one.
I hope so, because I probably sound crazy right now. Anyway, yeah, what continues is the person following Tape Girl's tapes, the person playing Help Wanted, which is a girl named Vanessa. It's dubious that she has like slightly like rainbow highlights and like kind of a teenager, but is a blonde girl, Vanessa. Vanessa is like a employee, I guess, and yeah, glitch trap or malhair or whatever you want to call it, bro, the glitch in that VR system that looks a lot like those the hand stitched costumes have been you know you know what I mean, and it's taken bro over and all that shit, and it takes Vanessa over. That was Help Wanted. I didn't mention UCN, but basically after FNAF 6, where do you think the souls go? Souls go to heaven, all that shit, all good. Where do you think Afton goes?
Hell.
To mega hell. But here's the thing.
Not even hell. He goes to mega hell.
No, but here's the thing. There's a special place in hell for bro, because it's not even specifically hell. Here's what happens. Ultimate Custom Night. Ultimate Custom Night came out after FNAF 6. Ultimate Custom Night is basically every single character. The phone guy, Old Man Consequences, I didn't mention him. All that great, like, random ass animatronics. Fucking, if it was made in the modern era, Chocolate Bunny Bonnie would be there. Every person, it was like Smash Bros. Every character from FNAF is in that game.
Everyone is here.
Pretty much.
Including, like, isn't it like Mr. Hippo's, like, Henry's creations more?
Yeah, but basically, like, Mediocre Melodies, all those guys, Chica, they have a hinged jaw, and that shows that they were made by Henry. I didn't mention all that stuff because I'm trying to be brief, but yeah, that type of stuff that was made by Henry.
Yeah.
Other stuff was made by
With external batteries and shit.
Yeah. Who mentioned that to you? Because I'm pretty sure that was like specifically written in Matt Pat's thing.
That was Michael.
Yeah, I'm pretty
sure.
I'm pretty sure Michael watched Game Theory's timeline, which is a pretty good one. I mean, dude, I love MatPat. I'm not gonna say his timeline wasn't good. His timeline is a big foundation of like mine timeline. You know what I mean? But there are some things that after a couple games, obviously he couldn't know what would have happened because that's an older theory now. But yeah, some things he got right, sometimes he didn't. But there's a lot of stuff there that like we keep as canon now because honestly, looking back, Scott doing all this shit bit by bit and MatPat constantly getting things right. I feel like MatPat wrote half of the story, and I know that's a large leap to say, but I feel like he did. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Scott, like when he was telling Matt all the lore, he was like, so when this thing happened and that thing happened, yeah, no, that was all you. I just wrote that in. I was like, damn, he made a good point. Like I feel like Scott put pieces out there, and just like was like, I'll let the people think it out, and I'll think it out with them. And if they come up with something better than I do, I'm just gonna put it in there.
Yeah, like I can't remember what's reminding me of, but it's basically what you said. I'll put out some little clues and just let their imaginations work because I know mine has got it all right now.
Yeah.
And let's see who comes up with the better stuff.
Let's see who comes up with the better shit. I'm fiending to continue. So let's just hurry up. I need to go to bed. I want to wake up early in the fucking dawn to do this shit. Dude, if I could, I would
go take a shower.
I would sleep so much less if I could control when I wake up. So anyway,
the alarm's not gonna do it for you.
Alarms don't do it for me. Honestly, you know what I did last night, which kind of helped. I don't know how, but I set my ringtone to really fucking loud, and then I just like went to sleep with my phone under my shirt because like it's touching me. So even if it just vibrates, it's still gonna be like, oh! It feels like someone tickled you when you woke up, and like even though I'm not that ticklish, I'm gonna feel something. I don't know. It's gonna wake me up somehow. Hopefully, if nobody's gonna wake me up, if my alarm isn't loud enough to wake me up, I'll put that shit on my I'll sleep on my back with my phone there and just wait for that shit to wake me up.
I remember I woke up to an alarm. I very rarely wake up to alarms. I woke up to an alarm, I think, today for one reason, and it was because it was basically in my ear. Exactly. I fell asleep with an AirPod in, and it was only one AirPod, so I could hear it. It was one AirPod, so I could hear it through the AirPod and outside of the AirPod as well. So it was just one directly into my left ear, and then one just surrounding me, and it was really disorienting.
I don't think the headphone thing works for me. If it did, I would have headphones on every night, which honestly would actually be really bad for me. But yeah, I think the solution I came up with, of like just having it on my back, I'm gonna do that tonight anyway. Anyway.
Make sure it's got battery though.
That is true. I'm charging it this entire time. I've been charging it the entire time. It'll be fine. I want to go to that mansion. I can't. So anyway, to finish it off, this is like security breach stuff. 𝕃𝕆𝕆𝕆𝕆𝕆 happens. Gregory is our new protagonist for now. He's a child. Surprisingly, I know children die all the time in this series. MatPat theorized that Gregory is a robot. He might be, or he might be. It's definitely that he got mind controlled. Snowbody mind control by 𝓕𝒻𝒃, aka the mimic virus. That's right. There are different mimic. You know when I said that one was the mimic that was mimic prototype 1. Basically, over the years, he's been looking at all of Afton's murders. He's been watching all of Afton's murders, whether from like spare robots, or from the clown thing, or from the storage, or from the cameras they use in the games. Actually, he's been looking at all that shit, and kind of went, I need to mimic William and do all the murderous shit he did, which is what the 𝓕𝒻𝒃 is, right? And that's why he's like trying to basically be like William. Now the other mimics and everything like that, it seems like there are different mimic programs, and in Help Wanted 2, 𝓕𝒺 ends up getting like killed for good, possibly. So there are different mimic programs, and that one simply was trying to replicate William. So people thought that William was back for a little bit. They were kind of like, "What the fuck, dude? I thought he died." But no, he's not. He is actually fucking dead, and the mimic is like in 𝓕𝒺. And actually, Dead by Daylight, like literally earlier today, showed off the movie skin, but also the 𝓕𝒺 skin, and it like glitches around and jump scares you in the menu, and instead of growling at you, it shushes you. It's shh, and it like does little robotic noises, which is pretty cool. But yeah, it looks like a felt suit, which is also really uncanny, and again like very like untrustworthy. Like it's like, you know, very commentary on AI. But yeah, basically not cool, dude. Vanessa, despite her best efforts, gets assimilated and blah blah blah, and people were like, is this a cult? Is there gonna be like a predecessor? Blah blah blah. As Gregory, who probably was before Security Breach, got 𝑠nobody mind controlled, is no longer 𝑠nobody mind controlled, but he doesn't remember anything, and he's like, what the fuck, Jigsaw? And yeah, so he's like trying to get through. He defeats the animatronics, the new animatronics, to upgrade Freddy, because Freddy is actually helping him in that game, because Freddy's like safety mode went on when he saw Gregory for some reason. People thought maybe he was possessed by Michael, and Gregory looks like Crying Child, so maybe it like fucked up his servos to see him, and that's why he's so overprotective of him, which could be a thing, but I honestly don't think that's the way they're going for it. It doesn't seem like Glamrock Freddy is possessed, and it also seems like all the original characters are either dead or not in those places, or like also that they're like kind of parallels to each other. How Crying Child was such a like, he was a fucking pussy, and Gregory is like a very spunky kid, and he doesn't cry, and he's, you know, blah blah blah, right? And Vanessa can also be attributed to a parallel to Elizabeth, you know what I mean? And in a way, I guess Glamrock Freddy is technically a parallel to Michael. You know what I mean? So all that stuff. So there's a lot of parallels, but they're not the same people. Security Breach happens, blah, blah, blah. We find underground FNAF 6's place, and in there we find a thing called the Tangle, or the Blob, which is basically all of that agony from FNAF 6, all those animatronics and everything. It's like Molten Freddy on crack. It's a gigantic head of Freddy, with like wires coming out everywhere, with like all the other animatronics like sucked in it like a big mass, and it's just an agony creature. So it's just all the agony, and it's just a big agony monster, which is a really, honestly, I think it's a really cool design. I think they should find a better name for it, because there isn't an official name right now, but people keep saying like the Tangle or the Blob, and I don't think the Blob sounds kind of goofy, so I don't know.
Imagine being like, this is our most agonized
the
character.
agony creature,
Blob.
literally made via like all of that story you heard from before. It's like all of the agony put together in one place. Honestly, I saw people's like takes like, oh wait, imagine if like it had the voice of Henry, and it was like Henry's like agony of like all that pain that he went through all those years, which honestly could have been really cool. But yeah, no, it's pretty much just like the agony of like the entire building and stuff, right? And then something happens. 𝒁𝒺 shows up in a pod of purple smoke, and you think, oh fuck, William's back, but it looks too robotic to be him. It, you know, sure, it has a little bit of flesh, but it looks like the flesh was like kind of plattered on. It looks like there's a robot underneath, not a skeleton underneath. So what the fuck is wrong with bro? Why does it look like that? And it's because that's actually the mimic. That's a mimic room program. That's one of the mimics, and it's like it's like wearing Afton, like the way that he wore a suit. He's basically wearing bro's like skin, which is really fucking weird and creepy.
Crawled underneath.
Kind of like what Ennard did. And yeah, so it tries to stop Gregory and Glamrock Freddy and shit. But the Tangle it sees it and immediately goes like, we gonna fucking kill your ass. I thought you was dead. And it was like, hey, wait, it's not me, and it takes him. And we haven't seen 𝒁𝒺 since. But the thing is that might actually not be the ending. See, there's a bunch of different endings to Security Breach, and turns out that might not actually be the ending, and Burn Trap might have actually not been real, and it might have been one of the endings that Gregory thought of. And the real ending was, you remember the arcade machines and shit? There's an arcade machine called Princess Quest, which is basically trying to help Vanessa, who's trapped by the mimic virus. And guess what I'm wearing, chat? The Vanny suit. Ugh.
Wow.
Yeah, Vanessa, Vanny, you know, Bunny, Vanessa, pretty similar. So yeah, she goes on a killing spree. She goes on the moniker of Vanny, in the kind of name of the mimic Afton virus thing. Killing people, stealing the remnant, blah blah blah. Similar thing happened to Gregory, but he doesn't remember because of, you know, he forgot. So yeah, all that stuff happens. Then in what might be the canon ending is basically Vanny as like that like, you know, like leader and stuff like that like, you know, that killer has been separated from Vanessa. So Vanessa is now like a whole person. Vanessa's like out of the Nobody mind control, but now the existence of said Nobody mind control is simply an entity now. So Vanny might still just exist as an entity. We don't know. We haven't got a follow-up on that besides Help Wanted 2. So yeah, they might be like two people now, which is a little weird, but cool. And that might have been hinted at the whole like sisters thing with the weird like beat 'em up game from FNAF. And there's also a racing game for FNAF which hints at this stuff and other things, and the fact that Midnight Motorist was Afton. A lot of weird shit happens in FNAF, man. But yeah, that's Security Breach. And you may ask what happens next. FNAF Ruin, which is technically the final game in the timeline, because this is the start of the timeline. So the final game in the timeline, FNAF Ruin, is actually might be between Help Wanted 2, because there's a Help Wanted 2. Help Wanted 2 follows a technician, and he might be the dad of the new protagonist. Not Gregory, Cassie. Not Cassidy, Cassie. So Cassie's dad is an engineer, whatever. He goes through the stuff. Glitch Trap is still there. He's like, yo, gamer, you know, get all these like dolls that look like the original Soul Kids, and once put them in their death order place, you can actually find the Bonnie mask, and the Bonnie mask is Bonnie Bully's mask. You remember the bullies? How it was like Foxy Bully, Bonnie Bully. Yeah, he was the Bonnie Bully, and Michael was the Foxy Bully. And when you play Into the Pit, Oswald's dad has a Freddy mask in his attic, so that might have been him too. So maybe in this game we find a Chica mask somewhere. But yeah, so we're kind of getting weird like backstories to all the Bonnie kids, or all the bully kids, because Michael's was literally like the main character. You know, he was kind of fleshed out. But anyway, Bonnie Bully, you know, is a thing. All that stuff. I haven't even mentioned like Glamrock Body and getting dismembered and blah 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 and all the Monty stuff and all that other things, and I'm not gonna mention all that. But for FNAF Ruin, Cassie basically gets a call off a walkie-talkie from Gregory, like, I'm trapped in the Pizzaplex, you gotta help me, dog, right? And Cassie's like, I bet, I'm an OG friend, and goes to help him, and the Pizzaplex is in fucking ruins. Everything is in ruins. Everything is fucked up. And once you finally get through everything, you open the door, and the mimic, the mimic, it's the fucking, wait, where's it, wait, I can't put it on loop, wait, where's it, the mimic, The mimic. So yeah, that it was the mimic that was you know was you know doing all that shit, and the mimic was actually mimicking Gregory's voice, and was doing all that just to get at Cassie and to get out the same way the sister location guys wanted to get out. And it's like, no guys, I'm totally Gregory, coming out of like a random ass robot. And Roxy saves Cassie because they grew a bond throughout the game and stuff, and Cassie has to leave. And once Cassie is going down the elevator, Gregory is like, yo, what's up, gamer? What the fuck? Why did you lead me to my death? And Gregory's like, what are you talking about, dude? That wasn't me. I was like out here with Vanessa, dog. I don't know what you're talking about, dog. Anyway, the mimic is super dangerous, and you totally shouldn't go near, bro. Oh, really? I haven't heard.
Oh, you don't say.
Oh, you don't say. Oh, you don't say. And so she tries to leave through the elevator, but when the door is closing, the mimic tries to get her, and it cuts its arm off trying to get to her. And shit. There are different endings, but that's the main one. And then in the middle of Gregory's speech, being like, yeah, no, here's the thing. Okay, Gregory, so you're gonna pull me back up the elevator, right? So here's the fucking thing. You see, Cassie, you see, the mimic is very, we can't let him get out. So, my bad, OG. And throws the fucking elevator down. And Cassie slams down into the elevator, down the elevator shaft, and maybe dies, maybe gets killed by the mimic, maybe lives. We don't fucking know. Also, a lot of people's theories were if Bonnie Bully guy was Help Wanted 2's guy, right? And Cassie was FNAF Ruins gal. This guy might be the grandfather. This guy might be the grandfather. But we don't know. We don't know. So this guy might be the grandfather of Bonnie Bully from all that other stuff. But we literally don't know. We also thought his name was Jeremy, because all of these fuckers are called Jeremy in this thing. I didn't mention all of them. I mentioned like 3 of them. But there's a couple fucking Jeremys in this thing. And it's kind of hard to understand who's who. I don't know if I mentioned, but 𝕿𝕻𝕻𝕻 might have also been a Jeremy. Like, there's just a lot of Jeremys. So,
Yeah, you mentioned that lobotomy bite.
Lobotomy bite, which, by the way, people think that the Jeremy that cut his face off might also be the Jeremy that got the lobotomy. And that the glitch chat was trying to get rid of, bro. But also when Help Wanted 2, after all is said and done and all that stuff, you may ask, where is Cassie's dad? Why didn't bro stop him? That's because in Help Wanted 2, there are 2 endings. One where you're in this giant claw machine and you do the Princess Quest minigame and all the souls, and you basically give 𝓿𝒻𝒻, you basically give your mask, your Vanny mask over for 𝓿𝒻𝒻, and you give 𝓿𝒻𝒻 to Moon, and Moon is like a Sun and Day attendant. It's like a weird theater guy. I'm not gonna mention him. He's not super important to the lore at the moment. He might be in the old stuff. It's been teased that he's in the old stuff. But which gives it to Vanny, and Vanny crushes 𝓿𝒻𝒻, like symbolizing like destroying the program, like being free, and Vanny like waves to you and leaves. You know, hit him with the bye. And the other one, which might also begin in, is that 𝓿𝒻𝒻 assimilates bro, takes him, and then you're put into the perspective of one of the staff bots from Security Breach, specifically the map bot, which gives Cassie the Vanny mask, which might mean that she is also like, you know, 𝓂𝒶𝒻 mind controlled, because they put a chip in her brain. Like the Vanny mask puts a chip in your brain. See, this is why I drew my model with a hoodie and not a mask, because I'm not trying to get no chip in my brain. But yeah, so they put a fucking chip in your brain when you do that, and the helpy thing, and like there's like a Funtime Freddy looking guy called Helpy, and I know there's like stuff for this where there's a guy named Helper that looks like him. So all the Helpy stuff is also a version of the Mimic. So it was also leading her on to do stuff, and it'll like constantly talk with itself, or like the Gregory and the Helpy will talk to itself as if they're having an argument, but it's the same fucking Mimic talking to itself, or two Mimics talking to themselves. But yeah, that's fucking insane. Again, like a lot of AI stuff, and also Cassie might be controlled, and also her dad might be one of the staff bots. By the way, all the staff in Security Breach besides Vanessa were laid off and basically like kicked off the team, and all replaced by staff bots. But when you look in like it was like right before everyone basically got fired, there was like a quote unquote like a mandatory meeting party thing, and the entire room was fucked. And people speculate that the way that the staff bots are so smart and so like, you know, the AI is so good is because the employees' souls are in there, which is
It's
not
just a bunch of remnants.
yeah, just a bunch of remnants in them, which makes sense because Cassie's dad is in one of them, and like gives her the mask, which is really sad because it's like he was trying to protect her, and now the cycle continues, which might mean I have to get a Vanny mask in this game because I might be the granddad. I don't know. But yeah, so After Narrow was a big thing about, you know, one guy's big like, you know, I want to be immortal, I'm a big bucket pussy, I want to kill kids, and the remnants and like the you know all that stuff from that. And the Mimic era is very much like I won't say specifically like anti-AI, but you get what I mean. Like very much like AI is fucking insane, and like even
The
though it
AI
might not
is
know
out
what
of
it's
control.
doing, yeah, even if the AI doesn't technically know what it's doing, it can cause harm. You know, even though the Mimic technically doesn't know what it's doing, it's still going to try to kill you. So honestly, like, and I have heard that like there might be a section, or like people are really wanting a section, which is going to be so scary. Where there's a bunch of mascot costumes everywhere, like the OG mascot costumes before they were robots, and they're all going to be sitting in like a room, and Mimic is going to be in one of them, and you just don't know where bro is, and you're just going to have to guess and run out of there before he gets you.
Terrifying, man.
That's terrifying. I'm scared to play this game. This is why I got to play it in the morning. Also, Jackie, the clown, you know, all the clown stuff, Mimic, also Mimic. All the guys with the big yellow eyes, all the yellow stuff, all the yellow lights, all that, Mimic stuff. Anyway, pretty much FNAF. All the fires, then AI. Pretty much FNAF. You've been crash coursed, injected with the remnant of 10 years inside of your veins. How you feeling?
10 years of information injected into my brain in 3 hours.
I didn't. I didn't look anything up, by the way. I'm autistic. You see, I'm autistic. I didn't look a single thing up. This is just, you know how many times I've had to hear this shit. Like I am a woman in STEM, a woman in Secret of the Mimic. So yeah, how you feeling after being injected from FNAF?
Honestly, it's so interesting.
I mean,
but then
yeah,
I'm also I'm at the point where it's like, this is really interesting, but I almost fell asleep like 5 minutes ago.
It's good. It's good. It's
3 in the morning.
It's understandable. It's good. But yeah, it is interesting. That's why I'm so fucking autistic about it, and why people have been trying to piece together this story for years and years and years and years and years and years and years. I don't know if I'm
only ever that autistic when it comes to Naruto.
I haven't watched Naruto. I watched one episode. I thought it was kind of cool, but I didn't finish it. I know my sister like got like really into it for a little bit. I don't know if she ever finished it, but I do have a cup of Naruto in the kitchen, so I'm assuming she likes it still. But I don't know if I mentioned, but in like Ultimate Custom Night, basically Afton's Hell, Cassidy is the one, like the vengeful spirit, like orchestrating everything, and Old Man Consequences, which is also in Help 102, blah 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 stuff. I won't mention him. I know everyone's trying to go to bed. Basically, he one of his lines is, let the demon let the demon rest with its demons, or let the demon be with its demons. Rest your own soul. There is nothing else to do, and there is a red lake, like the red pool of blood that he was in, and stuff like that. And there's a lot of stuff with FNAF World and stuff like that, but it's assumed that he's maybe like God or the devil or just like the Grim Reaper, you know, because he looks like a big crocodile like guy with like kind of looks like a fisherman, you know, like
Yeah,
like
little
River
crocodile
of Styx.
fisherman. I
Yeah,
think.
like River of Styx type shit. And also you have to remember that Scott is a religious man, and you know there is some religious stuff in FNAF. So yeah, basically the Grim Reaper telling Cassidy, you know, to chill the fuck out, yo. You know, I know you obviously he deserves hell, and he's gotten hell, and we don't worry. There's a special place in hell for bro. You know, throw that shit in it. You know, fucking kill that guy. But you know that will be dealt with. You know, don't worry, chat. So you don't have to be like sacrificing your own peace in need to feel like you have to take vengeance, like it's your duty. You're like a 6-year-old. Calm down, okay? and rest
You
your
didn't
own
even make it
soul.
out of elementary
Yeah,
school.
you didn't even make
Hold
it out of
up.
elementary school. Calm down, blood. Now we don't know if that means that Cassidy then moves on, and if Charlie moves on, because there's like stuff with the puppets and stuff in Security Breach, and also that at the end of Ultimate Custom Night you see Golden Freddy twitching out. Either maybe like you will never leave, or maybe upset that maybe, I don't know, something like that, but we don't know. So yeah, it's debated on whether the Cassie, or not Cassie. Cassie is the other character. Cassidy is ever like put to rest. We don't know yet. It seems like they were, but we don't know. Also, it's a little ambiguous on what their gender is. In the movie, it's a blonde boy. In the games, it's speculated to be a girl with dark hair and ponytails, or black hair and ponytails. But also maybe a boy. I don't fucking know. But yeah. Basically, bro goes to hell, and then they say go rest your soul, and then bro goes to like mega hell or something, and all the kids finally get to rest their souls and calm the fuck down. Michael gets to reunite with his brother and his sister, and gets to, you know, got to atone for his actions, all that stuff, and they finally get to go live free. And I think that's a nice ending for FNAF. And the mimic stuff with the AI is pretty cool. I feel like a lot of people were immediately against it because, like, no, it's not supernatural. But I feel like, you know, we had plenty of games to talk about supernatural stuff and talk about souls and remnant and shit. And this is still part of all that, but this is like AI. And Scott really likes writing stuff about AI. So I think it's really cool. And it also, you know, kind of helps the whole plot hole of how the fuck were they doing all this shit in the like 1980s or something. You know, how the fuck were they doing all that? All this advanced AI. So I'm really excited to see all that. It's apparently going to be really scary. I saw a small clip of Jackie's like chase, and like you're running at full speed, and she's already catched up to you. Like, it's scary as fuck. Like, and the design is really good too. I feel like people were like, oh, FNAF is going soft. FNAF is going like for kids. That shit is scary. Oh hell no, Jigsaw. And there's like Mushroom Man. I'm scared of that shit. That shit's scary. But that will be for tomorrow. You know, we should go to bed. That'll be for tomorrow. I'm gonna close the game.
Yeah.
Oh wait, oh, wait. That's a cool pause screen, right? It's like a film reel. That's cool. Recover factory. Blah blah blah. Okay. Can I leave? Can I quit? Okay. I guess I just
Stuck here forever.
I'm stuck here forever. Last clocked in. Oh, it tells me. Oh, I've been here for like. It says I've been here for like an hour.
Oh my.
Anyway, I might be the longest person to sit in that room for an hour. Anyway, that's it. That's all of FNAF. You know, brother trying to
The Ben says so.
rehabilitate. You know, souls being vengeful and coming to peace. Super crazy ass evil murderer guy, British guy. Ben. Yeah, that's it. That's it, man. Yeah, I explained the FNAF lore, and that's it. When I wake up though, don't worry. When I wake up though, I'm probably gonna try to do the bingo thing with all the theories, like I was doing with 𝕂𝒶𝒼, And yeah, we're done. We're done, man. Lore explained. Lore explained. I explained all the. I explained all the shit.
Explain.
Yep. William Afton goes to hell, pretty
Peoples are
much. William Afton goes to hell.
Peoples are sleepy.
Yep. We're all gone here. We're all done. We're dead. It's good. It's over. It's Jover. Hopefully tomorrow, you know, I start up with the stuff, and if anybody's awake, they can join me, and I'll be starting playing the game, and it'll be fucking insane. And I have stuff for bits to do, and blah blah blah, and that does need a little bit more planning. So, you know, I'm sure by the time I'm done, people will be awake enough to show up and stuff. But you know, hey, I'm happy. I'm happy we got to do something this time. I do have to make a new thumbnail though, and like a new everything, because I did waste it on this stream. No, I mean, hey, what the fuck is this motherfucker's secret? You know what? We didn't answer that. What is bro's secret? FNAF security breed mimic live stream. Hello?
Was that a last minute internet drop?
Yeah. Dude. Okay, well it wasn't bad. It was just my internet cutting out. The stream is still going, right? Wait, let me check.
Oh yeah, the stream is still up. The game's closed, but that's fine.
Okay, the stream is yeah, no, I was gonna say holy shit if the problem wasn't fixed. No, the problem was fixed. It's just the internet cuts out late at night, you know. So
yeah, I thought that was hilarious. I was about to type in chat.
That scared the
I was
shit
about to
out of
type
me.
in chat like, oh, it looks like we had one final technical difficulty.
Yeah, no, but it said chat disconnected, motherfucker. Anyway, yeah, you know, FNAF explained, the killers brought to hell, kids rest souls, blah blah blah. We're all good. Tomorrow I'll set up stuff, and when people are awake, we'll be playing FNAF Mimic actually. Your internet just briefly crashed, lol, when you said tomorrow. Delta Room tomorrow. That's right, guys. FNAF security, secret of the fucking mimic lives. You know what I should have said? I should have been like, you know what? Maybe the mimic secret was cut out. Honestly,
maybe it was the
maybe the mimic secret was, you know, the friends went along the way. You know, maybe the mimic really just wanted to be loved and saved. And honestly, you know, Ben, man, I think, you know, honestly,